Now, this is a story all about how you keep Willis White's name out your mouth. Now, if you'd like to take a slap, then just sit right there. I'll tell you how he slapped the shit out Chris Rock on live air. In West Hollywood, see, Jada and Will found marriage a bit stale and needed the thrill. Chilling out, maxing, and relaxing was cool, and so was movie nights when they kicked it old school. When August Alsina, who was up to no good, started fucking Jada in the neighborhood, got in one entanglement, and Will got scared. So you gotta be a little quieter about affairs. Boom, ding, 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 ding. Then Chrissy made a joke about Jada's lack of hair. Didn't know her alopecia, to be honest and fair. If anything, Will could say expresses despair, but he thought, nah, forget it. Yo, smack him on air. Will won Best Actor around 9:49 East and yelled to the crowd, yo, Oscar's so sorry. Looked at Jada's head and it couldn't be clearer. This is why they say Will Smith's got a hair trigger.
You should record that.
Buddy booth, bro.
Build the booth, man.
I'm gonna see if Jada can. Jada can.
Jada? Yeah, go talk to Jada about this.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be right on top of it.
Yeah, if she can. I gotta give a shout out real quick because somebody did give me the idea. Shout out to Martin C. He hit me up and was like, "Yo, what you doing?" He started writing a little bit of it. And I was like, "Dude, I'm just gonna do the whole thing."
So Bobby's song there pretty well covered the entire event.
Yeah,
but I don't want to ever hear nothing about wrestling being fake. That was the biggest fuck. Vince McMahon booked that shit. There's no doubt in my mind. He didn't fucking hit him.
I disagree.
They slapped him.
Yeah, I disagree.
That dude weighs $125 soaking wet.
So I think that we need to. So I think in my point of view, one of my big takeaways from all this is Chris Rock's got a chin on him. He's got a chin on him.
I mean, he didn't get socked.
No, he didn't get
slapped.
socked.
It's a different story.
It was a work punch.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So I'll talk a little bit about it. For those that didn't see, I'm sure most people have heard about it at this point. But she went the same day and made this statement about her alopecia. I think it was the same day. If not very recently, came out about it. I think I'm right.
I didn't know anything about that, and I'm gonna be honest with you.
This morning.
In today's age, it didn't even strike me as odd that she didn't have hair.
Yeah. Correct.
It didn't even.
Same.
I didn't even
Like
think.
2 out of 3 people have no hair in here.
Same.
I mean, that's the other thing. It's like, come on, can I not have this? Put a wig. Maybe I should wear a wig. Everybody send Bobby wigs.
Yeah,
send Bobby wigs. We'll share them.
If she showed it right, it's like this little. She has this line basically across the center of her forehead where it doesn't grow hair. So she shaves all of it to kind of do away with it altogether.
Makes sense.
So he laughs initially at the joke, which is interesting.
Yeah, it was. I've watched the. I mean, I don't know if it's clipped or not, but it's very awkwardly. The timing of it's very. So he's laughing, then the next thing you know, dude's in his.
She's not. If you look at her,
she kind of rolls her eyes.
Yeah, she's hurt, and he looks at her, and then he goes, and he walks up, smacks shit out of him. Actually, it's not even smack shit. He just smacks him.
Yeah.
Like, it was interesting to me to see, like let me say this.
If he did hit him, it's a boy quit playing kind of thing. Not I'm trying to knock your fucking head off.
Yeah, I don't know if he was trying to knock his head off. I do agree with you there. I'll say this, like, I think that the incident is the sum of a lot of things going on with Will Smith. Mm-hmm. And this was just
the last thing.
You know what I mean?
Last thing that fucked him up.
Yeah, it's so much shit.
I mean, he said some powerful stuff in his speech.
Yeah.
You know, basically that I'm trying to be everything for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's not happening. And you got to admit, dude's gotten fucking drugged for about 2 years now.
Yeah. And
as far as I know, he's always been a pretty decent dude.
He seems to be, yeah.
From the get-go, from the fucking 30 years ago.
Well, I think also part of that is that, like, he is kind of like America's sweetheart in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's like America's...
He ain't got a cuss in his raps to sell records.
But I do...
I mean, nothing else solidified him as the babyface rapper actor. It was Eminem saying...
Yeah. I'll tell you, the favorite meme I've seen of it so far is the one that says, is the one of Jada not looking pleased, and it says, Tupac would have shot him.
Maybe. I'll be honest with you. This has roared. I'm hoping this roars out like by tomorrow.
I am 3 minutes after I found out about it.
Of the memes already.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're funny.
I don't think they're even funny.
I like the Batman
ridiculous.
one.
Yeah.
Who did it better? The Batman slapping Robin.
Yeah, I mean that one with the Tupac would have shot him. That one got me.
The Order 66 one was pretty good
because that shit fucks with him. You know that? Like the Tupac shit. like the fact that she was fucking Tupac and that's what she wanted, right? And she settled, you know.
That's also on him too. He's also settled. He settled for someone who settled for him.
100%, 100%. But I think he has esteem issues regarding it. Like I think it fucks. It's part of his issues.
Yes,
you know. But you know, like I haven't seen the movie that he's in, King Richard or whatever. Where Serena Williams and Venus.
It's not a period.
I never even heard of it.
Huh?
It's not a period piece.
I guess it technically is.
Oh, okay. Man, you read the setup perfectly. That was great.
But I haven't seen it, but I want to.
What
We're gonna go through.
Was this?
We're gonna go Oscars.
Oh, it was Oscars.
Yeah.
Bunch of people I've never heard of and a bunch of movies I've never heard of. Won a bunch of awards I don't care about. That's basically
that's
my long in the tooth Oscar review. That's it.
Well, I've heard of a lot of them. I've seen some of them. But I tend to like most, like, in just, if you were to look through like a list of movies that have been nominated for Best Picture or Best Film or Best Director, like chances are I probably like most of them, I would say.
I'm just so out of the loop. I just have no idea.
So am I.
Like Jessica Chastain.
I don't even know where you find movies anymore. Like, to be honest.
Well, like the Best Pictures on Apple Plus or the Apple streaming service, which I don't know any. Do you guys have that?
So we do, but we got it because of some free 6-month trial thing, and you get that, and you get unlimited to Apple magazines and Apple books and everything, all this shit. Laura signed up for it, and then we'll pay for 2 months of it before we cancel it, because
I know the vibes.
That's how we roll. So anyway, I thought that'd be an interesting opener. A lot of people have already hit us up, like
I mean,
like dude, I'm waiting for the Nerd Rage take on the slap.
I mean, it's interesting, but then like, I don't know. I just don't care enough about other people's lives. I guess.
I think it's all things will work. I think
it could be.
I think
I don't doubt that either.
I'm gonna make a joke about your wife and come up here and like fake punch me in the.
Yeah, I don't think that for a second. I think that might be my personal opinion on that is that like you might be seeing every job as a nail,
maybe
with that hammer of yours, so to speak. But I tell you, like,
dude knows how to throw a punch. I would say he fucking was Ali in a movie. You think he learned how to throw a punch?
No, but like,
he also knows how to.
But also,
pull a punch.
It's slapping someone is a statement.
Yeah, he doesn't punch him. You know, and I'll say this, that like Chris Rock's a fucking professional, and to see him stumble over words and shit was weird to see.
The whole thing is just very fucking strange.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing at all.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing either. I fell asleep. I
found out about it while it was still on, and actually, I was sitting on the couch playing games, and heard Mason in the other room describing something about Will Smith and Chris. So I just Googled it real quick. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
I ended up getting irritated with a lot of like the fucking
circle jerk.
Not even the circle jerk, just the like. It was like the fucking Eternals thing, like, and I brought this home for people with dyslexia. All of this is dyslexia awareness. Like, it's just like,
where's Jesus though?
I'm like, dude, enough.
It's like everybody has to, you know, I think Phil put something in their notes this week about Sean Penn's going to melt down his Oscars if they didn't let.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, good. Melt them.
Good.
Yeah, who cares?
It's melt them and then send the gold to Ukraine.
There you go.
Yeah, and then you'll actually fucking do something worthwhile. What was the other, like this deaf dude one? I don't think I've seen the film. And I'm down to, you know. But like one of his things was like, you know, this is a win for the deaf and everything. And then I was like, I wonder how the blind movie looks. You know?
Dang it, Bobby.
That's.
I thought that would be part of like our pre-show talk.
Camera's just off center, looking up to the left. Fucking actors are over to the right.
Can you be a blind key grip?
They're filming at night. All right. Enough about me.
Oh god,
this thing on?
It definitely is.
Fuck it. Let me try to remember. Oh, Joe, you got your coffee first. Chris, how was your nerd week?
It seemed to have gone by really quick.
Yeah,
so today's Monday. Did we record on Tuesday? So it was a whole week.
But it doesn't feel like it. Weeks feel like days to me, man.
Yeah.
I watched.
Getting old.
I watched BVS randomly.
Uncut or cut?
Beavis.
Buddy. Don't circumcise my Batman.
I feel you.
I mean, are you sure he is circumcised though?
I don't know. I remember
actually,
that
I can't
outline.
remember. Get that book out.
That book out.
What about the actors? Each individual actor who played Batman, were they all circumcised?
I wonder if that information is public. You keep talking.
Oh boy. I hadn't watched.
You can do the guess just like you guessed the pubic hair.
Yeah.
I hadn't watched that movie in a couple years probably. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And,
uncut.
Yeah, and I think I'd seen the theatrical release, let's call it, and leave circumcision out of it for a minute. I'd probably seen it 5 or 6 times, and I'd only seen the extended cut once. Mm-hmm. And I think that's all that's on HBO Max is the long.
It's all that should be.
It makes sense, the definitive version of it.
Yeah,
true. Yeah, there's just so much. There's so much nuance. I think that got missed in the theatrical, like the whole story about the. She made up the. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that whole thing about the lady making up the story and a lot
one of the best parts.
Yeah, and a lot of that was just either just really quickly run through or left out of the main.
And ties into how far Lex was thinking this thing through, and
yeah,
such an unfortunate series of events that surrounds how Warner Brothers handled Zack Snyder.
Yeah, and you know what?
This whole franchise.
Yeah,
I really like Ben Affleck in that role, and it kind of sucks we're not going to get that in any long term.
No, you get him one more time though.
You get him one more time in the Flash movie that comes out. I don't know, 15 years or something. They keep bumping it back.
15 years, 15 days. What's the name?
What did the Flash it is?
Yeah.
I watched 2 more episodes of that Lakers show that I can never remember the name of, Building a Dynasty, maybe.
Okay,
that's on HBO. It's like a not documentary.
I've had other people co-sign that to me, saying that
it has been good, and it's just, I mean, just the way the world was in the early 80s is just bananas.
That's how all those cartoons came out.
Exactly, because everybody was high out of their mind,
coked out.
Yeah, that's right. I went to an outlet mall yesterday. I went to the Clarksburg outlets took the kids.
Is that the one off 270?
No shit.
Yeah.
It's interesting because yesterday, Sunday, Laura took the girls down to Leesburg on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
And I have a funny story. I'm going to send you a text, so that you remind me after the show.
Okay. It was cold as. I said this like Friday. Hey, I'd like to go to the outlet mall this weekend, and it ended up being so freaking cold yesterday and windy But we had a good time. Kids, I literally got nothing except pizza. There's a pizza place there that's got decent pizza. They make it there and put it in the brick oven.
Okay,
it's like super. It's like mod. It's kind of like
and pizza.
Mod. Yeah, it's kind of like mod pizza. It's what?
And pizza, like the ampersand.
No, I think it's called Rise.
Okay. Like artisan almost.
Yeah, I mean, I had like a.
But you can get regular
pepper.
Shit.
Yeah, like a pesto and all that stuff. Bobby's like, just give me pepperoni. The pepperoni pizza was great. Even the kids were like, "Oh my god, it's such good pizza!" Because they got
I'm fucking feeling weird about pepperoni these days because I fucking read some article. I am that guy. I'm the article reading, life changing guy.
Yes,
like
stop it.
It fucks with me. Like I read this fucking article. It was something like in Reason or something. Like it's like it's a credible place to read. Mm-hmm. That we're like one of the only quote unquote civilized, for lack of a better term, countries that doesn't view processed meat as a carcinogen.
Okay.
Fuck me up. Fuck me up. Like I can't. I don't know if I can go through the rest of my life without bacon and shit. But I can tell you, I haven't ordered a pepperoni pizza since.
I just feel like it's very normal processed meat. Like, I think the article is like talking to the 100 people that wrote about it and then read it.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I know it's like I grew up on processed meat and it's very prominent in Hong Kong.
And I turned out cancer.
I turned out perfectly cancerous.
You remember it makes me think about stuff. Homer one time on The Simpsons, he was like, "What are you talking about? I grew up on TV and I turned out TV."
Yes.
You talk TV? I talk TV.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Continue.
How do you guys like your eggs? Like if you order eggs at
fried or fertilized.
Here you go.
Not fertilized. Not fucking fertilized, please.
I like them scrambled usually.
It depends on what you eat it with.
Waffle House. Well, I know this because I think you ordered it at the same time I did.
Yeah. Sunny side up.
Me and you. Okay, you have sunny side.
If I'm going to have it with toast, sunny side up.
Kanye orders his over Yeezy.
God! Fuck that guy. Actually, so he put his eggs on his shoes and he eats it from the shoe. He would. I can see him doing it right now.
Yeah. He pours them into those big rain boots and then he just drips them out. Fucking
he just wants the protein. That's all he's in it for. I actually order mine fried over medium, which is runny in the middle. Giggity and giggity.
It's not runny enough.
Dioramas is basically what I do with all my free time now. We actually still have the website open. I'm glad we did. I sent you guys something that I don't know when we're going to close it at this point. I'm just going to leave it open.
Never again.
Yeah. And it's funny. It's like, I don't know. We have a very, this is what we sell. It's on the website, but I still get, people asking me, hey, could you make this, but do these things? Everything. And I just always reply, everything we offer is currently available on the website.
No, I get it from your point of view. It must be annoying, but I also get it from customer's point of view.
Yeah, I know.
I am that customer. When I see someone who's like on Etsy or some shit, they're making stuff. You're an artist or whatever. You're producing something yourself, not a factory. I'm like, well, can you make it blue and not red? You know, like to me, it's a sensible question. If they get mad when you say no, that's a different story. But if you're like, oh, okay, if you say no, then
no, right? And I get it, but it's just in the space we're in right now. We offer these things, and they're in two different sizes height wise, so they. Yeah. You know,
because like technically you have the ability to.
Sure, we could, but then all I'd be doing all day is taking inches off of shit, and then I also have to worry about circumcision again. So then I have to worry about
little around the top.
Make sure you use the dome cap. The dome cap.
Dude, did it have a little dickhead cup, like a bowl cut for your dick?
That's how it works,
man. Is it? Yes. I don't know how it works. I didn't get it done, bro. I didn't get it done.
I know, and Bobby hasn't had boys, but I'll tell you.
I'm sorry.
You have an army of female warriors in your house. Yes.
Do you watch?
Well, no, but you see it after the fact because they have to wear the hat.
Oh, really?
There's a little dome they have to wear.
I have no idea about this whole process. I thought they just like, I don't know what they do actually. I thought they just like pull the skin out and like scissor that bitch.
Side note, the other day I was throwing broccoli crowns in my mouth because I was just eating raw broccoli as like a snack.
Says the guy, get some pepperoni, dude.
and a buddy of mine, took a picture of it and definitely 100% replaced all the broccoli crowns with lipsticks.
Nice,
but not Robert D.
No, another buddy that's like just as insane.
Another meme
DJ.
Buddy. Okay, gotcha. So I've been playing Cyberpunk again.
Hell yeah,
and like. I feel like I'm playing on like normal, but I feel like I'm overpowered in the game because
it becomes that way when you do the side quests and shit in any of the open world
like
games.
I haven't even, I think I'm 20% to the gameplay. I've just been, I'm like maxed out on the street level. The street cred is what they call it. And then like, I think I'm 41 of 50 on what level you are. So I was looking at the map, right? And I see, what is that? There's a fucking border wall in Cyberpunk, a southern border wall.
Oh, really?
In this Southern California city that is impossibly high and impossibly barbed wired. And then I noticed there was 10 miles a day. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How'd that work? There's a gate that there's like I don't know what you call it, an in and out station with officers. The border stop. What do you call that?
I don't know.
Like where I guess
security checkpoint.
The security checkpoint. So I'm like, and on the map, it shows stuff beyond the security checkpoints. So I'm like, what is out there? So I spent probably an hour and a half figuring out how to get through, which I ended up looking it up. And there's basically a glitch where you can jump on this tree and you jump on the rail and you're like floating like 4 feet above everything, but you can get across. And I drove to the edge of the world, guys. And it's amazing how much textured layers they have.
Taking
out
a road trip in a video game is nuts,
bro. It's crazy.
I know you only came out on this idea and this thing like a year since you've been playing.
Well, apparently they've changed. You used to. So what I tried was like there's security turrets and there's cameras and there's all
shoot
these
everybody up and kill everybody.
I was using it's basically it's magic. I cast spells or whatever, but it's I'm
hacking.
I'm hacking. Yes. So I'm hacking,
which is magic.
Turned off. Yeah, it's spell table, the hack table. I turned off all the cameras, turned off all the security turrets, and then I had this invisibility thing, like
magic,
basically for 10 seconds. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to run up to him. 10 seconds, and every time I got that, I'd still get mowed down every time. So I did this hack, and then I drove. I fell off. I finally got to the end of the world, and I fell off, and what's it, a soft glitch or a soft reset? I don't know. Mason called it something. But I found all this other crazy shit. Like there's these just buildings floating out there.
Yep.
And what Mason was telling me is sometimes the developers, if they build something and they just throw it out there. So like there's this fucking platform with an oil tower and all this shit is just like, it's literally floating like 50 feet in the air. It's crazy.
I mean, it's like your scrap pile at home of your diorama stuff.
That's what it
is.
is.
Well, I have this building. It's done, but I don't use it anymore. And just throw it to the side.
Well, the crazy thing is on my laser cutter, the software I use, there's a work area. Anything outside the work area, it doesn't matter. So my work area is just all my patterns and designs and everything, and just slap them in there and cut it. And he's like, yeah, that's exactly what it's like. So apparently there's a YouTube channel that's all they do is try to glitch out games to find stuff like this. Yeah. I thought that was, I don't know. No, I enjoyed that. But I just love fans.
Also, like flat earthers, I'm sure love that too.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Told you.
Was it last week when we answered the question about magazines?
Yes.
So for some reason, all our magazines came in on one day the other day.
They were listening,
including the Entertainment Weekly with the Obi-Wan. So
nice.
And I meant to bring that in case you want to read that. Yeah, I don't know if have you read it online?
I have not.
Okay, I'll try to remember to bring it. Right. It's got our lovely, our Lord and Savior Obi-Wan Christ on the cover. Christ.
No worries.
And it's, it's a good interview, and then there's a little asides like, let's talk about your haircuts during the prequel trilogy. So he
finally
talks about the Jesus look and stuff like that. So I think that was it.
All right,
oh, sure.
Joseph,
watch a lot of useless shit as usual. I watched Spider-Man, the new one.
Oh yeah,
No Way Home.
Yeah.
Where'd you? Is
that
the one with Doctor Strange in it?
Yeah.
Is it on streaming? Or did you watch like a pirated thing?
Yeah, I'm a pirate.
Yeah, okay. But sometimes you wait. Like I think was Shang Chi that came out on that you waited till it went on streaming and then watched that.
Because it was short enough. This I didn't know when this was coming out.
That's why I was just curious.
I think it's out soon because they've been advertising it.
For me, it's like how much effort is it for me to get?
Right. No. I was just curious if it was available.
Explaining my process of when to pirate and when not to.
Gotcha.
It's just that this was like I saw the opportunity. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch it. I thought it was great. I loved it. Two things as personal bias. So like some part of the movie that didn't get to me like I would imagine other people is when Aunt May died. Right? Spoiler alert, I guess.
No,
it's too late for that.
I'm sure everyone was like real emotional about it, and like I wasn't. I'm like, you're wrong.
I mean, it was shocking. That's what it was because you weren't expecting them to kill her,
right? Like to me, it was like a principle of things. Like, no, you died and you're wrong. And like, but then like later I got more emotional because Spider-Man was sad. I was sad because he was really sad, but I didn't care that she died, and I think I was supposed to.
Well, I think what's interesting about it is that she's this universe's Uncle Ben.
Yes,
she is. Like she's the one that has taught him now
how to cook rice.
the with great power, this is my truth.
Which is stupid because then anyway. But this, No,
I mean, I'm good with it.
Yeah, it's just a personal thing. It's my hang up. But I thought the movie was definitely a plus material overall, and I love when there are three Spider-Mans talk. Yeah, it was great. Like it I don't know. It made all the Spider-Mans better to me. And but like the best part of the whole movie for me, like the one where I like was getting super emotional was when Garfield got to save MJ. I was like, and they're great fucking actors. The I don't know, because from watching the old movies, like and the way they were made and they were campy and shit. This made those characters more real to me.
That first Amazing Spider-Man to me isn't campy.
No, but I see things as sum of all things.
Right. No, that's fair. But like I think about that movie. That movie definitely has Batman Begins vibes. Like you go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Like they lean heavy into like the grounded element of his father, the shady shit that his father was doing, like government work and all that kind of stuff. Why he got orphaned and all that, and ended up with his aunt and uncle. And there's a lot of that. That might be actually. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Amazing Spider-Man is my favorite Spider-Man film.
Wow.
And and I like him. I don't buy him as Peter Parker. He always seemed too old to me. I don't know why. He always he never looked like a high school student to me. He looked like a college student.
Yeah.
But like the little like quippy shit that he did to me felt the most like Spider-Man to me. Like when like that mugger like turned around and like brought a switchblade out.
Yes.
He was like, oh no, you found my weakness. You've got it's really small knives. It's like that reminds me of fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think the dialogue was very cleverly written for him.
I liked I like that movie. This one that like is a weird experience for me, because if we talk about, for instance, like the Batman thing, where like I was entertained, but I was entertained but didn't enjoy the movie. You know what I mean? I didn't enjoy the story.
Okay.
This was something where I immensely enjoyed the movie, but the other part of me was like, doesn't make any sense. Hey. You got somebody.
He got weird.
You got to learn how to turn part of your brain off.
Hey, excuse me.
You got an extra lizard. You got an extra lizard behind your brain, dude.
Is anybody in there? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
It was like my 5-year-old self was like, "Be quiet! I'm watching cartoons." You know,
it's magic, bro. Like at the end of the day, it's all fucking magic. But yeah, I liked it a lot. But like, yeah, it feels bad though. Like Spider-Man is like a character that's meant, it's like Job from the Bible. It's just meant to be shat on. You like him, you want him to be good, but like he's not the best, but like
he sacrifices everything and nobody knows.
Just fucking gets shat on, and his life fucking sucks. It's just fucking awful for him. So yeah, but I guess that's just where he operates. I think in the comic books too, it's always some shit that he's getting shat on for. But yeah, I immensely enjoyed it. I watched Tenet.
Oh yeah, is this the first time you've seen it?
Yeah.
Did you like the first half or second half better?
Here's my notes. It took extensive notes. It's good acting, good action.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, so
good emotions and intentions. Very interesting but flawed mechanics.
Okay.
Like I didn't think it was incredible movie. I don't think it was a mind-blowing movie. I think in my mind, if I didn't know who made it, was someone came up with a really cool concept and wanted to shoot these scenes and had to like clusterfuck a story together so he can shoot these scenes. That's what it seemed to me. But I think it's a very interesting take on how time works. It's not time travel per se.
Yeah.
Right. It's not
time manipulation.
Yeah. And I think that's very interesting. But like, I find it convoluted at points for no reason, and also lots of plot holes in the mechanics itself that you have to turn your brain off just to watch this as something cool to look at.
So fucking funny to me. Like, for one, I 100% agree. Super convoluted to me, because I have, I think I did intro to chemistry as like my third science. You know what I mean? Like,
I did organic chemistry too.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, in high school, you know, when you're supposed to do chemistry and then physics, if you want to go for, I did intro to, I never took chemistry.
I didn't either in high school. I somehow got out of chemistry.
That's sweet to hear, bro. See, shout out to us.
I'll be honest with you. The reason I didn't is the teacher was so fucking intimidating. Like, everybody talked about how intimidating it was. I'm like, I'm gonna skip that.
The shitty thing about it is that's where they teach you how to keep your hair. So jokes on us.
Oh.
But like, so like, I agree with you. Super convoluted to me, right? It was convoluted to a point where I couldn't enjoy it because I couldn't understand it.
Okay.
But so 2 things about like the plot holes and the mechanics of it, right? On one hand, there's like people, not me, because I don't get it, but there are people that like do this sort of thing in terms of like movie breakdowns of this type of movie, and have been like, this might be the only one that's flawless.
It's not.
Do you know what I'm talking about? I'll find it.
Yeah.
But like, there's people that break it down that aren't even huge fans of it, but they're like, this might be the first time travel, quote unquote, movie that doesn't break the rules.
But what are the rules?
Like, where it doesn't
grandfather paradox, but
where it doesn't
butterfly effect,
where it doesn't.
I mean,
no,
same thing.
Where it doesn't fuck itself, where it doesn't say like.
But but at the end, it kind of does when she killed the dude.
So you don't argue it with me, because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember the specifics about that.
My thing to this is that's how I view Spider-Man. Is I'm like, tons of plot holes. The mechanics don't work.
Yeah, but the difference is like, this is supposed to be quote unquote hard sci-fi. It's supposed to be harder. But Spider-Man was literally magic. Doctor Strange is just literally magicking shit.
Even the rules to the magic don't make sense.
Right, because it's magic. I didn't need
No. The effects of the magic. Not the physics of the magic, but what the magic does and how it restores stuff.
Because it's magic.
Yeah, exactly. That to me, when it comes to
they say magic, Bobby, turn off that part of your brain.
I draw
it's not going to make
in
any
my
sense.
mind.
Yeah, but like if the magic is this bean that you throw outside, there's a magic bean,
Yes.
and it grows a beanstalk.
How much you pay for it?
That's right. Good question. But that's the rule to that magic, right?
Yes.
So, but if you throw the bean and then the bean becomes a caterpillar, it's breaking the rules of the magic.
It's wild magic.
But that's not what this was. And I mean, yes, I agree that there is wild magic.
But anyway, I get what you're saying, but like,
and I'm also good with saying, look, this is supposed to be kind of taken seriously, and this is supposed to be just good fun. I'm good with that. Say less. I co-sign that.
Yeah.
But that's where maybe because my idiot brain could understand Spider-Man, so my idiot brain was doing with Spider-Man what your smart brain was doing with Tenet. Does that make sense?
If you say so. I think in my head I just have a hard delineation of like hard sci-fi, fun sci-fi, and magic. To me, like magic doesn't need rules because it's.
But it was that there was rules.
But there's always, to me, like it doesn't matter if magic break rules. Because it's magic, which means it's like making nothing out of something and making things into other things. Like none of this shit has any consequences of repercussions.
But you talking about my workshop?
Like the side effects don't make sense in that.
It doesn't have to because it's magic.
No, not the magic part.
Like, it's like Jesus.
The real part of it.
Jesus is magic. It doesn't
I
have to
don't
make
think you
sense.
understand what I'm saying, but that's okay. I'm not doing this
I do
again.
have one more question, Bobby. Is it a giant caterpillar or just a normal size?
Does it grow really big?
Faulty. It's faulty mechanics.
Does it grow really tall though?
It's really skinny and really tall. You can't stand up.
It's like a kickstand. You paint the end of it. From Deuce Bigelow, you had the skinny dick.
Oh, God. It's like a
Huge bitch. I love that movie. That's a great
great.
movie. I don't know if are we allowed to watch that anymore? Actually, no. It's very positive. It's very sex positive.
Fat shaming.
Is it? I don't have to watch it again.
Yeah. Did someone say steak?
No, but at the end, like he's like everyone's beautiful, and you should just be whatever you want to be.
Yeah, but they don't care about the final message.
Oh, okay. That's
the
breaking the
final
rules.
message.
That's what's breaking the rules.
They don't care about the final message, Joe.
That doesn't make sense. That's a plot hole.
Mistake.
It's just like Sam wrote in about the final message of slavery of a female slave in Return of the Jedi, that the slave overcomes the master and defeats it and kills it. And it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That part doesn't matter. It was one to begin with. You know,
right? I went to the theater.
Oh, what?
Because I saw a college friend, pharmacy school friend. I haven't seen it in like in years. I went to watch Jujutsu Kaisen, the anime movie.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty interesting. I enjoyed it because I like that series, and season 2 is going to come out relatively soon, I think. And this was like a prequel movie. Quite enjoyed it.
Why are anime movies released so strangely in America? Is it because they don't think the audience is...
No, it's better now.
Like it comes out for like 4 days or some shit?
Usually. I mean, but also like it used to be one day, maybe one theater in one state might have it for one showing. I remember driving to Virginia, like a 2.5 hour drive to watch Evangelion when it came out in the theaters for the one show. And it was packed.
Wow.
Now, like, there was multiple showings that day. It might not be there for a lot of days, but it was multiple showings.
I mean, that's
easy to get tickets to.
It's good they're growing the market like that.
Yeah, and it's in many theaters. But there was a post-credit scene. I was like, is fucking post-credit scene mandatory now? It's like, did Marvel make fucking post-credit scene mandatory for every fucking thing? It was strange to me.
Is it weird to you?
Doctor Strange, am I bloody right?
I find it very odd in this day and age that people that I'll go see a superhero movie on opening night or whatever, and people leave like as soon as the credits roll. I'm like, are y'all new here or?
They don't care.
I just wonder how many. I'm gonna say not. I'd say that Bobby and I, but Joe are pretty diehard about knowing everything that's going on in these universes. Are there people like I'm gonna go see the new Batman movie, and obviously the after credit scene you're not really missing anything, but like you think about all the Marvel stuff and the teases and stuff that's always at the end.
Yeah,
you know, don't they show them on YouTube anyway?
Oh. I guess they do.
Yeah, but sometimes they've gotten better about it.
If you're in the theater, why just sit there for 3 minutes
after 3 hours?
Well, then by the time you come back, it's probably ready to show
fair.
you.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's a good strategy, though.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think some people just don't care.
That's maybe true too.
I mean, why else would they be leaving? They got to know by now.
I think some people don't know. I think some people still don't know.
Come on, after
like
10 plus years that there's a scene afterwards.
I'm telling you,
I think
they never feel strange after every time they watch a movie. When they leave, everyone still sees.
But I think there's a lot of people out there that like still see it as like that aren't tied to the culture of it at all. They just see it as like a fun movie to go see.
Fun
Yeah, they probably people don't understand how the movies are connected.
Right.
Or don't care.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
I watched a heist movie on Netflix called The Vault. It's fun.
Who's in that one?
Fun romp. I don't know.
Who's the key grip?
Don't know.
Best boy?
Me.
The So you're the best boy.
Oh, dude, you gotta tell us that.
You're
say I'm the best boy.
Oh no.
I'm the best boy gay for grip.
I'm gonna see if I can get her to say it. Tell me I'm the
Record
best.
it.
Tell me
Record
I am. Tell me I'm the best boy.
You've gotten her to say some wild shit, so that's not the craziest thing.
You're not telling me.
Yes. Don't get canceled, please.
I said I'll tell. I was it was right around the time Fantastic Four was coming out, and the first one.
Yes.
And I'm getting it from the back, and I'm so excited for Fantastic Four, and I'm like, tell me, flame on. She's like, flame on, my flame on.
Yes. Are you surprised that he's the same guy who was like screaming Mortal Kombat after
true.
fucking for the first time?
That's true.
Slayed it.
That's true.
Yeah, but it's fun. A heist movie. If you want to watch a heist movie that you can turn your brain off. The protagonist isn't like some great looking dude who's like jacked, which is it's refreshing. It's just a normal guy who's like really smart, so he's good at fucking breaking into shit.
Whatever happened to like those guys of the world, like that guy that played a pig vomit in Howard Stern's movie? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Paul Giamatti.
Yes.
Or
he's on Billions now.
Or the guy that was in Capote or whatever, like that dude.
Truman?
He died of an overdose or something.
That narrows it down.
He was in one of the James Bond movies. Mission Impossible movies.
In Boogie Nights. He was like the closet gay dude. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Just normal looking dudes that are talented and tie you a little bit.
John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
And the guy from Righteous Gemstones who's in Danny McBride.
I always get those two mixed up, but like they're in the same genre to me. John C. Reilly and Danny McBride.
And it tie you to reality a bit in a different kind of way, you know?
Yeah. No. But yeah, watch Escape Plan 2. Don't watch it. It's not great. The first one.
Hold on, I'm gonna delete it.
Okay, good thing. Well, I got fucking feedback after I asked last week. People have been hitting me up saying I do listen to y'all's recommendations.
Yeah.
Like, oh, good. So I'm not just fucking screaming into the ether.
Right.
Watch National Treasure 1 and 2.
So did my family. That's fucking strange.
Okay, well, hang on.
What night?
Well, Joe,
Last night and the night before.
So the night before, my family watched it as well.
What triggered you to watch it?
Nick Cage.
I mean in particular. I'm just trying to make a correlation. If something happened,
heist movies.
You were in a heist movie.
And adventure, simple adventure I can turn my brain off to.
Selena loves it. Selena loves that movie. So I wasn't here, but she was asked Laura. She's like, "Can I watch it?" She calls it something. Can I watch the movie where the such and such happens? And
it's like Indiana Jones, but like I don't know if it's dumber because like Indiana
kid friendly.
Kid friendly.
I wonder the younger guy that acted beside him. He never really did anything else.
I don't know. He looks generic. He could have been in things I don't recognize.
That's true.
But no, I thought it was fun. It was
I don't remember
not something
the
to
second
follow,
one
and like you don't need to follow the story because it's fucking crazy. Because like the way they do, like I'm like you're better than Batman in deduction.
What's the second one about? I don't remember the
Book of Secrets, bro.
That's right.
It's the president's book of secrets that passed down from one president to the next.
And it's hidden in the desk, right?
No, so there's stuff hidden in the desk. There's shit everywhere.
There's all these knobs.
Dude, I don't know where to get money from, but they go from like Buckingham Palace to like the fucking White House to goddamn Boston Tea Party to they just fucking globetrotting to all these places. And
do you think there's a Facebook group about building your own accurate book of secrets? Probably.
You're in it. You just didn't know it yet.
Not yet.
Dude, I'm surprised people haven't hit you up to like replicate those like props in the movies.
Everything we offer is on our website, Joe.
Perfect. But no, I thought they were fun. Like, can't think too hard about it because of plot holes and shit.
Selena loves them. I saw the first one. I've never seen the second one.
You're not a big Indiana Jones fan either.
I'm not a big adventure fan.
Is there a third one?
It hints that to be a third one. And I'm like, is that third one? There's no third one.
I just saw Indiana Jones Part 3 for like the first time in the past 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
The one with Sean Connery?
Mm-hmm. I just never saw it. Not because I didn't want to see it. It just never happened.
You're not an adventure guy.
Yeah. I wish I was. Like,
you probably like some Star Wars shows lately if you like adventures.
We just need the main character to have cool sunglasses on. And
that's what it is. Hey, listen. Yeah.
He's laughing because he knows it's true.
Dude, even that California raisin, what I like.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that your favorite wrestler is a guy named Super Calo because he has a
I didn't know that.
Well, it doesn't matter because it was a luchador with a mask that had built-in sunglasses.
So you like,
and apparently couldn't see shit.
Was, man.
Do you like Slash?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ray Charles?
Yeah. I mean, enough. Remember? Did you ever see what is it? Huey Cox, the what was that shit?
Huge Cox?
Huey, the dude that it was like the spoofy movie basically on Ray. On
Dewey Cox?
Yeah, Dewey Cox.
Oh, wrong kid died.
Yeah,
so I thought it was
Hard Road or something.
Walk Hard.
Walk Hard.
So it was more on the Johnny Cash movie, but there was some of Ray peppered in there.
Yeah, with the he was born without the sense of smell.
He's smell blind. My favorite part of that movie is Tim Meadows. He's like, "What are y'all doing? We're doing peels, uppers and downers. It's a nightmare." But he's always like,
yeah, he's saying good things about it, but why you shouldn't do it.
And at the end, there's like they're old, and he's putting him in the Hall of Fame, and he walks in. Tim Meadows is like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "We're taking. We got these blue things. They're boner pills." He's like, "You want to get?" He's like, "I don't want no part of that shit."
He usually tells him, "You don't want no parts of it." He's like, I would, but I don't want to get addicted. It's not habit forming.
And then he has that he has elephants and shit in there. He's like completely high and lost his mind. That's a really good movie. And there's full frontal male nudity.
Is there?
No, it's full frontal in fucking The Last Duel. I saw fucking Kylo Ren's dick, I'm pretty sure, at the end.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah, when they were dragging him to hang him upside down, and his
maybe.
dick was flopping out there.
Normalized male full frontal.
It's definitely happening.
It's happening.
But when do we?
HBO is the like forerunner.
Yeah,
Like that
for sure.
fucking-
You remember when
When are we going to do that with vaginas?
double vaginas? You see double vagina?
Velvety.
Velvety vaginas.
Nice.
When are we going to do that? You
I don't know.
That's the next step.
I guess it is the next logical step.
Anyway, continue.
Speaking of vaginas, I watched Deadly Woman.
Oh, nice.
Continuing to watch Deadly Woman. It's a great show.
Is it?
It's fucking amazing. Love it. Like if you're into real true crimes or whatever, get on it. It's on ID for free. You have to watch commercials, which has been a fun experience for us.
Speaking of commercials,
Yeah, you're saying.
I'm going to interrupt you. A couple weeks ago, we were talking about how some parents' council was throwing a fit about some of the Netflix Disney shows coming to Disney Plus.
Yes.
Yes. Not only are they there, but I was listening to the radio and a commercial came on.
Yeah.
For those shows being on Disney Plus now. There was a radio commercial saying you can watch, I think they led with Daredevil.
Daredevil, probably.
They ended with Punisher. They said it all, and then I guess Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s on there too, which, who cares? But
I like the
I was like, wow, it's a commercial for that. So,
yeah, the Daredevil cameo in Spider-Man was cool when he was the lawyer.
oh yeah, that was a nice nod.
It's just
I like that.
Like makes it canon.
Did you watch Hawkeye?
Same exact thing.
Joe, have you watched Hawkeye yet? Okay.
The only show I haven't watched is Booga Booba.
Booga Booba.
Just don't.
It's fine.
Someone tells me the 2 episodes I'm supposed to watch. Oh, that should watch. Is it the
like
last two or the
it's
second
really
to
the
last
last
two?
Definitely not the last two.
Which the Mandalorian episode?
If you
There was
want
two
all the
of them.
Mandalorian,
That one's good.
There's
I thought there was two of them.
There's more than two.
It's the last 3 episodes. Which at that point you might as well just put
Watch
it
the
on
whole
while
thing?
you're
I don't
painting or
want-
something.
It's more interesting just to see how he gets out of the Sarlacc and kind of starts over. Once he starts over.
So just watch the first episode and the last 3 episodes. What you're telling
Pretty
me?
much, you can skip.
Actually, I suggest just like the first 2.
Well, if you want the Mandalorian,
Then you
juicy
just have me to
bits-
watch the whole fucking thing. I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want you to watch the rest of it. I don't want you to watch any of it because I don't want to waste your time.
Did you watch the 2 animated episodes I told you to watch? Star Wars animated.
No, but it's still on my list of things to watch.
I understand. My list is
Yeah.
huge.
Listen, Joe,
And I'm going to watch that whole thing.
it's right next to.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
It's right next to Coruscant
You don't
Nights
like
in
most
his
of it.
priorities.
That is
Star Wars
true.
priorities.
But it's only little 20-minute things. It's edible.
Edibles. Don't do it.
It's not habit.
It's not.
It's not habit for me.
And last thing is like I've been binging while I'm building my 40K stuff is Scientology Aftermath. You told me to watch that.
Okay.
It's amazing. It's great.
This is-
I'm like almost done with season 3. There's 4 seasons of it.
Oh, okay. This is the Leah
Remini. Yeah, it's really good and like really like serious.
Yeah.
And it is Scientology is worse than I fucking thought. And I like the format because it's not just like not to diminish people's stories, but it's not just people telling the same story over and over again.
Right, it's different.
Like each episode has like an aim to tell you this aspect of Scientology,
what they're fucking up in.
where they're fucking child labor camps, and then I didn't know they were fucking anti-gay either.
The prison floor. Do you know about the prison floor?
Yeah, the RPL. They have like trailers where they lock people in and shit. Bro, like, how are they getting away with this shit? Like, and also they've been saying they're actually talking to lawyers and people and trying to actually do something about it.
Dude, Cara Dune says something about transgenders and she gets fucking taken off the show. These motherfuckers are putting people in prison camps.
Kids too, and just like
it's just insane.
It is it seems impossible that this is just happening right the fuck now in this day and age.
Yeah, well, there's a boat. Remember? I wonder what's on the boat. I normally don't talk about the podcasts I listen to on this show because they're mostly wrestling related. And yeah, if you want to know what wrestling podcasts I listen to, hit me up. But Chris Jericho has had a podcast. He's probably one of the first wrestlers to have a podcast. It's cleverly called Talk is Jericho. But he has a lot of wrestlers on there. He has a band. He's the lead singer of Fozzy, so they have a lot of musicians on there, and then they also just have different stuff on there. So he had a girl who had escaped. Her mom was in a Mormon cult when she was growing up, and telling that story.
She's actually Mormon's got nothing on Scientology.
She's actually an actress.
Well, the LDS ones are pretty. I agree, they have nothing on Scientology, but the LDS, I think it's the LDS. There's like two different types of Mormons. There's like the fanatic, zealot,
like every religion,
fundamental type, and they're the one. Like, they're into some like almost mafia level shit of like extortion and crazy.
And like lastly, I just want to shout out to all my Twitch friends. Like I've been hitting more and more people as I'm streaming that have listened. Like I don't know why y'all listening to this, but thank you. Appreciate it.
Crossing streams, Joe.
Yeah, bro.
Oh shit! Okay,
he's not ready.
Yeah,
not ready.
No, he wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready.
So let's see what I did. I watched 2 more episodes of DMZ, the Rosario Dawson.
Yes, I saw the previews. I mean, like trailer. Commercial.
It's a DC. Because it's got the DC logo.
Yeah, right? I think it was a Vertigo book.
Okay.
I was gonna say it's not in DC, isn't fucking
right. New York, is it?
Yeah. The DMV.
I'll tell you that, like,
bro,
it's not great.
Okay.
Because originally you were kind of interested.
Yeah, because like the first episode I was like, all right, kind of an interesting world. I need to know a little bit more about it. Wasn't really hooked, and in the last 5 seconds, got me.
Yeah.
Next episode, I got off the hook. I was a little squirmy fish, Joe, and I got myself off.
Flopped right the fuck off.
I got myself right off the hook. You know what I mean? And then I watched the 3rd episode just to see if there was anything left, and it didn't really do much for me. There's only 1 episode left, so I'll probably finish it for the sake of
3 out.
Yeah, so I'll probably finish it for the sake of finishing it. But I'm not impressed. Rosario Dawson's doing a good job acting wise. Like,
it's not good material though.
It's fine. So it's interesting. Much like the Batman, this is the inverse for me.
Okay.
Whereas Batman, like I felt like I knew the world like the back of my hand before I left. I just didn't really latch onto the characters or the story. This, I kind of get the story. I'm latching on to the characters, but I don't really understand the world. And like I just need to know.
It's almost like you need 60 years of backstory to tell you about the world.
Maybe
just 1 3-hour movie.
Or if you have taken that chemistry class in high school, you've been fine.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like it's just like they're in this DMZ. The DMZ seems to be Manhattan.
Okay.
And then there seems to be 2 factions outside of Manhattan, but I kind of need.
Do any of them rap?
I don't have. Probably
they have more than 400 followers on social media.
Yes, they do. So I'm out.
Okay. Do they have a Cash App?
Yeah, that's another big thing.
I know.
But like, I don't understand the threat, I guess. Because I don't understand enough about the world.
You don't understand why the things are the way they are?
Yeah, I need to know that. I need to know why they want to kill the people in the DMZ and why they're not safe. And I don't like at one point they get too close to the edge and like sniper shots start coming in. It's like I just don't understand.
There's no reason for it. That you don't.
Maybe
it's gonna be a big review next.
Well, so that's my hope, and I'm sure there is a reason for it that's written somewhere, but I don't. It may even be like kind of casually mentioned.
But it's a serious thing to like for the world to exist.
I feel like I need the world a lot more world building information in it. Maybe that's just me. But
no, that makes sense. Like if you don't know why things are the way they are, why would you care?
Yeah. So, like the character stuff, I care about, like her son. There's all this dynamics there. Real quick, like spoilers, I guess. you know, the whole premise of the show is that she's just about to get on this evacuation bus to get out of the whole shit before everything goes left. What that thing is, we don't really know. And her son is behind her, and she's like, keep looking forward, stay with me, stay with me. When she gets right to the bus door, she looks back and he's gone. So then she's basically trying to hunt him down for like 8 years to find him, like, you know, to reunite with him.
8 years?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So she eventually finds him, and he's like, you stupid bitch. I didn't get lost. I ran. So it's an interesting...
How old was he?
Well, he was like probably like 15 or so.
Oh,
so
I was thinking he was like
a kid.
I thought he was like 7 or 8 years old.
So now he's like
sorry.
23.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That paints a whole different picture in my head.
Yeah. So like the character stuff, I actually find pretty interesting.
Yeah, that is an interesting take on it.
In the story of it, I'm actually in also. It's just, I just don't understand what I'm watching world-wise. I don't understand the environment.
Gotcha.
So let's see. This is a weird thing that I put in here. I know what it's in reference to, but I think it was Friday. I don't know. One day last week, you know, after the show, I got sad as fuck, and I can't tell you why. But like,
I know the feels.
I mean, I got like bottom of the barrel sad, and I can't tell you why. And it was the weirdest thing. And I came out of it within 24 hours. But like depressed, sad, like the fucking blues. And I do have some mental health bouts that I deal with, but I can usually pinpoint, it's these, and these. Adam left the show, and like, you know, all right, I kicked him off according to Joe a couple weeks ago.
I didn't say you came out. I said it happened. It was replaced. They said replaced. They asked if you were to be replaced.
But you know, but whatever. I can usually track it back to something, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, Laura did something to piss her mom, or you know what I mean, whatever the case may be.
Triggered it. Yeah.
Triggered. But this was like the first time where I was like, man, like I'm fucking down.
Okay, so on a serious note, like I don't like that you had that experience, but like it's cool that you had the experience for me, because we had this thing a few years back when like I almost fucked off.
Yeah,
but like that's what it was, and it happens for months.
Yeah,
like, and it happens once every year or two, like. But yeah, so like, you know how it feels. You know exactly what I'm talking about now when I say.
Yeah. No.
That's like, it's one thing to like sympathize or empathize. It's one thing to like know what it is, and another thing to feel what it is, and that's what it is for me.
Wow.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know how I came out of it either.
I'm glad it was short.
Yeah.
Because sometimes like episodes last a long time. So
I don't know how it started. I don't know how it ended.
And like, do you look up the dates? Was there any specific dates in history?
Nope. No, nothing.
Because sometimes
nothing
it's like that
special.
you subconsciously know.
Nothing special. Just regular shit. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe. Okay. Here's a good one. I'm getting a bunch of shit these days, Joe, around the house. Chris, I hate to say it. Maybe this might be why I'm sad.
That's how the natural progression of life. You watch commercials, man. Like the dad always gets the shit on the stick eventually.
Yeah. Well, so look, listen, man. I like to have a little pudding. Okay,
A little pudding pop.
I like pudding. And I enjoy it as a snack. So I
I'm
said,
quite fond of pudding.
I said, Laura, would you mind picking me up one of them like sugar-free pudding snacks? So she picked me up a pack of 4, and she called me white trash, which is fine.
Now, do you get the refrigerated or the non-refrigerated kind?
So
there's 2 different kinds.
I think it's non-refrigerated.
Hunts,
but it's not. But I definitely refrigerate it. Anyway, I say all that to say this. Jaina has been fucking with me about it ever since.
The pudding
like
snacks?
she's like coming home like, hey, big guy, do you have any pudding today? And I'd be like, yep. She's like, oh, I know you did. Like,
just laying it out.
The other day, I ripped this fucking fart, and she looked over me and she was like, that's that pudding.
Oh, that's good shit.
Jaina actually comes up a lot this week. So she broke down our favorite kids the other night. We were sitting in the kitchen, and she was like, Daddy's favorite is Leia, and then me, and then Selena. And then she was like, Mommy, your favorite is Selena, and then Leia, and then me. I'm nobody's favorite, but I'm all 4 of the grandparents' favorite.
Wow.
Like, did she have notes?
No,
I can imagine
but
she had this written down.
But she 100% has worked through this and probably drawn diagrams, and that's just how her brain works.
And you all have dragon names in her diary. About,
she was like,
the daddy dragon.
She had worked it all out. She had, she was okay. She was okay with it because she was like, it's pretty even for everyone. She was like this, and then like I was like, first of all, it's bullshit. My favorite changes.
I don't know. It sounds right to me.
So actually, like Selena's probably at the top of my list these days.
Is it because she's low maintenance?
Well, it's because no. It's just because like she's like been hanging out with me for whatever reason. She's like warmed up to me. I don't like. It took 8 years, but she's like or almost 9. But she's like just been like she'll like come in and just be like hey, have a good day at work tomorrow. Like just out of the blue, like she thinks about me. She texts me from like her Kindle, and it'll just be like, "How's work?" Just weird, but whatever the case may be. So like, but what I try to explain to Jaina and is that like, and sometimes when I have this discussion at work, is like, oh, you have a favorite kid. You 100% have a favorite kid. Now that can change in 5 minutes. And Jaina can go from being my number 1 to my number 60.
Right.
And Selena bumps up to number 1 for 2 days.
Shout out to the fallen soldiers, right?
God bless the dead. And then Leia could take over for a couple while. You know what I mean? But it's like good graces,
That's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I love all my kids.
Of course.
I love them in different ways. And I don't mean that. Never mind. Anyways, I'm just saying, like, you have to learn what people need from you.
Yeah.
As far as what love goes. So, like, obviously my relationship with Mason is vastly different than with Charlie, which is 100% different than with Kennedy.
That's a heartache.
Who I've actually been getting along with a lot better lately.
Nice. Love to hear
it.
Pfizer was a sponsor of the Oscars. I watched that last night.
Nice. I should have worn my jacket to celebrate.
Dude, I'm vaccinated. I've said on here that I think it's about weighing your pros and cons in terms of your life, your lifestyle, the old people around you, the sick people around you, how healthy you are, et cetera, your age, all those things, and make a decision that best suits those things. I don't think there's a clear and cut answer on it. I never have, never will. But I can say this. With this shit basically being about as dangerous as the common cold
nowadays, yeah, it's very different.
This version today, yes.
And I see within the same week Pfizer sponsoring an ad on the Oscars, and sponsoring the Oscars. So getting constant ads through the Oscars, and then I got an alert on my phone that Moderna has now cleared it for 6-month-olds.
Wow.
I'm like, oh man, fucking money's drying up, ain't it, boys?
I saw
that government money, bro.
There's commercials on the radio and the TV about getting vaccinated, and I was talking to Kelly. I'm like, the people that aren't vaccinated at this point, unless you like maybe were pregnant and didn't want to get it, and now you're not. I don't see a lot of people getting vaccinated that aren't vaccinated.
No, especially with a threat decreasing over time.
Correct. Anyway, I just found that interesting.
Tell me how that works when there's a war going on.
I watched the first hour of the Oscars and fell asleep.
I forgot it was on until I heard about Will Smith.
I to be fair, I'm just being transparent. Amy Schumer ended up irritating me I've kind of
no way.
And
no, he's been a defender of
not a defender, but I have I have to I don't want to like her comedy specials,
right?
But I tend to, and I hate having to say it, like, oh god, like whenever she comes up and people are like, oh fucking bitch or whatever, I'm like, and I just put my head down on the table like this, and I go, hate to say it, I think she's funny, and I go into like bits that I have found funny, and people are generally like, yeah, that's pretty funny, or that's not fucking funny. I'm like, all right, well.
I'll tell you my favorite Amy Schumer bit is she tells a story about she went to her a friend or maybe a college friend's not a bachelor party, what do they call a shower, like a shower, wedding shower. And it was her and all her new friends are like, tell us something naughty you do. And these girls are like, Dave,
that's my favorite bit.
Sometimes when Dave goes to sleep, I sneak downstairs and eat ice cream and stuff like that. And then Amy Schumer says something like, one time I gave a blowjob to a cabbie. And then she says something to her friend like, well, I don't know why you're being so prissy. I've helped you get cum out of your hair.
Yeah,
that was my favorite.
Yeah,
bits
I
of
like
hers.
that. I like that bit of hers too.
Yeah.
But she ended up. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is how people feel about her. I had that. It was like similar to you with my sadness. I was like, I'm glad that I've had this experience. I did a stupid fucking dress with a stupid bow on it. You ain't a present, bitch. Take that fucking dumb dress off. You're at the goddamn Oscars.
I did. I think it was her that said they have 3 women hosting the show because it's the same price as 1 man.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
But it was. But it was that opening speech. She ended up pissing me off.
Oh, okay.
Not pissing me off, just like
irritated.
Fuck yeah, fucking
Aggravated
shit. You know. So I kind of zoned out and then just trailed off into obscurity there. Watched the Batman deleted scene. Did you watch it with the Joker?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch it. I know it happened. I just didn't get to it.
It's worth it. It's worth a watch.
I'll check it out. It's on YouTube.
I think so.
Okay.
It's interesting because like the face is very much like, you know, like the look of this Batman is very much inspired by the guy. I always butcher his name. So like, all right, can I be honest for a minute?
You can. It's a safe space.
Or in here, but not over the mic.
Sometimes I know I don't know how to say words. So I decide in my head what they are, and then I make no effort to ever learn. I always just say that word because I know what it means and who it's supposed to be. So his name is Bermagello, but I know that's not his name. Okay, I just want to be out there.
Sorry,
this is my truth.
Sorry, Mr. Bermagello.
All right, let me see if I can find. And so here it is. So it's definitely not Bermagello. Lee Bermejo.
I mean, Bermejo's not a bad guess.
Bermejo,
probably.
Yeah,
maybe. Don't know.
So tremendous artist. Tremendous artist.
Yeah.
That's a fucked up Joker.
His Joker, the Batman of the Batman, is largely based off of his work.
Okay.
The Joker, largely based off of his.
Batman in this book?
No. It's
okay. I was looking for a Batman picture.
I have one of him too. Over here somewhere, but I can't tell you exactly where it is at the moment.
Bobby's in the library.
Yeah, but like, but it's largely based off of his work, and if you know his work, you would be able to. Oh yeah, clearly that's definitely him.
Tom McFarlane.
But it's cool, yeah. But it's cool that that it matched. You know. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it's not like one guy from one book and one guy from another book.
Yeah,
all artists.
Yeah. They're like, oh, okay, they're kind of building off of the same blueprint.
Yeah.
I think I've read this book. Yeah, it's that. It's almost dead on with the costume, the boots and the tactical pants. Yeah, apple bottom jeans.
So I just thought it was cool. I liked the scene generally. I like the idea of seeing a Joker who looks gnarled. You know, like it really looks like a chemical accident.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed the scene, you know, despite, and to be fair, I think it did a little bit more for the character of Batman. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, he's, you know, Joker and Batman, one of those two where like you both kind of, you learn a little bit about each from the other. Right. And one of my complaints is character in that movie, and it would have helped me a little bit, but I do wonder how it leaked and why it's staying up.
Is it leaked or did they put it out?
It doesn't. Yeah. I don't think it's on Warner Brothers channel.
But if it's on YouTube, then it's not really leaked. If it's not taking down,
they're not fighting it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know.
So like I think it's a quote unquote leak, but it's like a purposeful thing where
maybe, or they just don't care, or I don't know.
It's like knocking off yourself, right? It's like your own
jerking off yourself.
I didn't say all that.
I've made the beat for the new song. For the year.
That's really good.
So thank you, Joe. And
top 3.
So it's funny. I've played it for like it's one of those where the universal response has been, oh yeah, this is.
Let's hear it.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me pause this.
You're working your stuff.
We'll see. I'm gonna leave it because I like to have it as like instrument. We'll see. I'm gonna leave some of it to E Black, of course.
Gotcha.
Well, it depends if his lady friends in a way.
Yeah. I know. I hope they broke up.
Well, listen, if you'd like me to,
hey, you like your artist fucked up.
Listen, if you want me to do some Facebook snooping, I'll probably break this down for you. If I start now, by the time you need to go,
there you go.
We all know Bobby doesn't like his musicians happy.
That's true. It's true. But yeah, I mean, everybody seems like it. It's my last one. It has that like farewell vibes to it. So
for sure, it's the last one. Was
yeah, last song.
Pro wrestling retirement. Here?
Yeah, no, I'm done. I don't want to go through it all again. I enjoy the editing process of it, but it's starting to feel like more and more of a chore to get together.
An expectation, right?
Yeah. So and I don't know if I have a whole lot else to say on the topic. You know.
Yeah.
So I think a good farewell is something to say. That doesn't mean that I'll stop reviewing or anything, but I just stopped the songs.
Well, I think that means you won.
Yeah,
Whatever
maybe.
battle you thought you were fighting here.
Yeah,
I
maybe
think you won.
Or gave up.
Bobby, sometimes that's how you win.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So the last note that I have on here. Okay. Laura got these new grapes, right? She's an experimenter when it comes to grapes, and I'm not always okay with it, right? I like a tried and true everything.
You don't want catsup, right?
No. Get that shit out of here.
I was getting visibly angry over
Tomato
it.
paste. Yeah.
So she comes in with these grapes, and they're fine. They're not crisp. I prefer a crisp grape, but they're not mushy. Okay. It's just sort of like the consistency is the same from the skin through it. It's fine. So like we're sitting there and Jane is like, it's firm and playful.
What? Hello?
So Laura and I shoot each other a look, and then we start kind of snickering and sort of and like making little kind of comments about it, like firm and playful, huh? And like this kind of stuff. And Jane is like, look, I know you guys are talking about dicks, but it's from Build-A-Bear.
Wow.
All grown up.
That was a good punchline. I thought you were setting us up for a really bad joke.
No.
Like this one. Hey, Joe, do you know what you call Lego-based fan fiction?
No.
The non-canonical Bionicle Chronicle. Non-canonical Bionicle Chronicle.
I like it.
Yeah.
Go to booth.
So, couple of notes. Not too much. Hey, I got a question. I think I've asked this before, but it's worth revisiting. Speaking of a booth, Glory.
Oh, I thought it was a thing of double fisting.
Well, kind of.
Never been skiing, Joe?
So glory hole, right?
Yes.
I've never done one.
Me either.
Nor have I.
Okay. Well, not that I would expect any of you to come forward if you had, but I
definitely would.
Oh yeah,
I come backwards.
So does Joe. Anyway, so I'm not sure if you watched any glory hole.
Oh yeah,
film.
I'm familiar with the genre.
All right, me too. So you know what that means in the glory hole culture?
I don't.
It means that the receiver is getting ready to finish.
Okay,
and it's like a heads up.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
so you can make a decision on your end how you want this to go.
Yeah.
So, do you knock or plead ignorance?
Knock.
I'm gonna knock.
Yeah,
I'm foul.
you're inconsiderate, bro.
Bobby's over here singing. Bobby's over here singing songs from Disney films of late.
I'm gonna be
let it go, let it go.
I'm gonna be. What's the rules? Oh God! Why didn't you tell me beforehand?
At least you're not the one who like finishes and walk the fuck out and don't say anything.
Well, only if I hear pitching a fit. Otherwise, okay. All right.
Fuck?
Now that that's out of the way. So the Oscar goes to. There was a couple. I was just going to read off some of these. Encanto won Best Animated. I haven't seen that yet, but my kids love it.
I heard it was good.
Yeah, my kids
I know
love it.
you don't talk about Bruno. I know that. Good God.
Coda won Best Picture.
Never heard of it. It's on the Apple channel. Or
I heard of it, but I never seen it.
It's on the Apple Bottom Jeans channel.
It was up against Nightmare Alley, which I did see. Actually, Dune was up for a lot and actually won a fair amount.
You probably want some visual effects stuff, right?
It won Best Cinematography.
Sound?
What did?
It won Best Cinematography too, I believe.
Timothy Chalamet
won. Shot well, beautiful. We said
won the deep V fashion of the night.
I love a deep V,
bro. I think he just had on a sport coat. The deepest V.
Best actor was Will Smith for King Richard. Best actress was Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye, which I talked about that 700 Bible Club or whatever.
For some reason, I was thinking that was a series. It's a movie.
Yep. Best original.
Hang on. Did she play Tammy Faye in that?
Yes.
Oh snap! Okay.
Yeah, she did a good job too. I was a little weirded out. Like I know I was a little disappointed when I looked at the contendants, with the nominees. I feel like Lady Gaga deserved it after seeing in House of Gucci a nod. I don't think she necessarily deserved to win, but I do feel like she deserved a nod. But I did read all this shit about how obnoxious she was about it, like on set. Like she was method for like a year and stayed in a row and had a fucking head nurse on fucking scene to make sure that she was staying sane and all that.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's almost like sending rats to people.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Best original song, No Time to Die, Billie Eilish.
That's in the movie.
From the movie.
That's what I was telling you. Like James Bond had fucking great. Like this Daniel Craig James Bond has great openings and musics.
What were the other?
Skyfall.
Do you have the other songs from this year?
Yeah, I just want to say I'm not sure if I know this song, but I do like her in general.
I've heard it. That's about as far as I can go.
Don. Let's see. Don This is one where I would make up my own word. This is one where I would make up my own word. Orguitas, Lin-Manuel Miranda. I don't know. Somehow You Do from the motion picture 4 or something. It cuts off. Be Alive from King Richard and Down to Joy by Van Morrison. I mean, of course, I know who Van Morrison is.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with any of that other than the one that won. So,
best director was Jane Campion of The Power of the Dog. I don't even know that one.
An anime?
Belfast, which I was on my queue to see. West Side Story.
Yeah, I saw that.
Was up for a bunch of shit.
It's on Disney Channel.
I can't even.
Disney
Was that on Disney Plus?
Plus, yeah.
Is it?
But
I think so.
Yeah, my kids. I think my kids are going to watch.
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, and they may have changed this because of COVID and streaming. But at one point, you had to have at least like 3 days in the theater. So a lot of these like Netflix movies, they would just slap them in like 15 theaters in Texas.
Right.
I think it's a dumb arbitrary rule anyway.
It is.
A movie is
at
a
this
movie.
point, it is.
Best supporting actress was Ariana DeBose of West Side Story.
No.
Best supporting actor was Troy Kotzer from Coda, which once again I didn't see.
Is that the blind gentleman?
Might have been the deaf gentleman.
That's what I meant. I didn't.
Different
I didn't hear you right.
There's layers to that one.
Yeah.
Best documentary feature was Summer of Soul, which was Questlove from
Sam
from The Roots.
I have never heard of that. Didn't know that had happened.
I didn't either, but I will look into it. Ascension, Writing with Fire, Flea, and Attica. I've heard of Attica. I mean, Attica, of course, I know what it is, but I think there's a number of documentaries about Attica, Sing Sing, like all those old school jails, that, like, you know. Live action short film, The Long Goodbye. Best original screenplay was Belfast. That's on my list to watch next, so I should have some words on that by next week. It looks pretty good. Like Irish persecution stuff.
good times.
Yeah,
That was really sad.
yeah. So shout out
Bobby loves that shit.
Yeah, I love it. Shout out to Andy when he comes over here. He can tell me all about his war-torn country. I did the wrong impression.
Yeah, that was
That's the shirt name again.
blimey.
Or was it Brooklyn? I can't tell the difference.
I want an Australian Brooklyn drill rapper now. Bobby's like, hold on.
You want me to pause it?
He's got
you want me to pause it?
362 followers.
You want me to pause it?
He talks about kangaroos.
There's lots of them.
Blimey.
Best makeup and hairstyling, The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Best visual effects was Dune.
Hold on. Back up. What was that about makeup?
Eyes of Tammy Faye.
It's kind of on the nose, isn't it? Because she wore all the makeup.
Best visual effects was Dune. It beat out Spider-Man No Way Home, which I thought was interesting, and I think deserved. Like, those effects in that movie are really fucking good.
Yeah, they are.
You know, like, for all the problems that I had with that movie, I was like, man, the effects look fucking believable.
I still haven't seen it.
Best original score.
And it's original. A lot of those effects were like original.
Yeah. It's not like you hadn't seen 1,000 different times.
Not to take away from how much work and impressive it is for Doctor Strange magics and shit, but we've seen it.
Right. Best original score was Hans Zimmer for Dune. Best animated short film, The Windshield Wiper.
Yeah, those are always...
Those are in Baltimore. There's lots of them.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Every time I go to work now, they're like, no thanks, bro.
The best short documentary was The Queen of Basketball.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know either. Best cinematography was Dune.
Why you pointing at me because I'm tall? You think I'm gonna know what
No,
that is?
you like basketball.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's
You like to lick your shit.
That's something I know about you.
My secret.
Best costume design was Cruella. I guess that was last year. Best film editing was Dune. Dune won a lot.
But just not best movie. But not the important stuff.
Yeah. And to be fair, it shouldn't have.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree because we're in the same boat with that.
Yeah.
Are they making? They're
once.
making a sequel.
Yeah.
They've already greenlit a sequel to
Thank
that.
God.
right?
They had to.
Best production design, Dune. Best sound, Dune.
Wow.
It had really good sounds.
Yeah, like it
Jiggle your balls, bro.
Dune kicked ass.
Bet you Patrick Stewart is ecstatic.
Yeah.
All these years later.
R.I.P. Taylor Hawkins from the Foo Fighters.
I'll be honest with you, man. I saw that and it hit. I was like, because I don't think about that guy was like 50, but in my head he's not. He's like younger than that. But
Yeah.
fuck, that kind of got me for a minute, man. When I read that,
Yeah, I'll tell you, like, I it sucks. Like, in my opinion, it's too young to go, you know. But like, I feel, you know, obviously thoughts, prayers, family, friends, fans. But for once, it was like, for me, just, this is my truth. Okay, I'm brave. I'm being brave right now. I was like, fuck, at least it's not somebody I love.
Oh my God.
Like,
Yes.
you know,
And I get it. I get it.
You know, like, I feel like I lose.
comes in threes, Bobby.
Yeah,
that's what you say.
I lose so many fucking artists that like I'm like really into. And like I never got into the Foo Fighters. I respect the fuck out of them. I just never got into their music. It just never was for me. I've listened to every album because I respect them and kind of wanted to be a fan. But like it just never clicked with me.
I didn't know this till I was actually reading an article about him, which led to about the Foo Fighters. Did you know that Dave Grohl, their original, the first album they put out, he did everything on it. He played all. I didn't know that. Like kind of like
some Prince shit
or Trent Reznor.
Trent.
Yeah, so he played all the instruments on. I didn't realize that till recently.
It was more like the partial drummer, really.
Yeah, it's like you mean like the drummer?
just
But you mean like partial, like the drummer from Def Leppard, right?
Nope.
Wow.
No, but when you let him win an Oscar, he'll be like, "This is for the one." Doesn't matter. We got Nick Cageula. Have you seen this shit?
I have.
We're going to go into a lot of Nick Cage movie
The
this week.
first images of him as Dracula that I've seen anyway.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this beaut?
Yeah, let me see. Love it. Love it.
It's everything I want it to be.
But at the same time, if he had on lipstick, he could be
Joker.
I don't know. I got these scars.
Yeah. Dude, I love the medallion. Like you bringing that back.
It's great.
We haven't seen that in a while. Like
dude, I'm looking forward to it.
the sweet bling, the sweet Dracula bling.
This week on the docket for me is Con Air.
Oh,
Face Off.
You're going full
The
in.
Rock.
Oh wow.
This is not the Dwayne Johnson.
I
but
understand.
The movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're doing the entire
Snake
90s
Eyes.
run. Dude, Snake Eyes is a good
It's
fucking
really
movie.
good movie.
I haven't seen
It's
it
a good
in
movie.
years.
Like
it's probably
Kristen
better than
hasn't
the
seen
G.I.
all-
Joe
like,
Snake
I keep
Eyes
finding
movie.
shit that she hasn't seen, and I'm just like, we've been together for like 13, 14 years. How have you not seen this shit?
But you haven't shown it to her, Joe.
I've shown her the world.
I can show. I don't want to get copyrighted on that.
So, yeah.
See, you already
all you
got
get.
it. Three
Disney
words.
is on it.
That's
It's
all you
already
get.
on it.
All right, so Shang-Chi, I brought this up because I thought it could spark some good conversation. Shang-Chi, Simu Liu.
Is this one of those words you're making up again?
I'm trying not to.
I have no idea.
Okay. Refuses to sign Master of Kung Fu Comics. While attending Awesome Con. That's a Baltimore con.
Baltimore.
2022, Shang-Chi actor will not be signing any Master of Kung Fu Comics, the character's original comic title. A stipulation was added to his upcoming appearances at Awesome Con that he will not sign any, deemed offensive. The character Shang-Chi was introduced in Special Marvel Edition number 1573. When the character was brought back for the two following issues, the title of Special Marvel Edition was changed to The Hands of Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. Despite being the original comic book run for Shang-Chi, the Master of Kung Fu title has many outdated and offensive cultural stereotypes.
Cool. I'm good with it.
Liu has proven himself as champion of Asian rights and cultures in the past. Speaking at an awards ceremony while receiving the breakout film in honor, the actor referred to himself as unapologetically Asian. There are so many people here tonight fighting the good fight, showing me what it means to be unapologetically Asian. The more I think about it, the more it feels like a superpower. And then they go into Aquafina and how she's a terrible person from the Asian perspective, and and also from and apparently has offended the black community as well, and they want her the fuck out of here.
So everybody hates her.
I don't know. Is that last part for real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I know you have strong feelings.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because the shit that irritates me about her, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I'm on the side of. I'm on the right side of history.
You're on the side with the minorities, blacks and Asians.
Yeah, dude.
Joey found his tribe. Finally. He found his tribe.
This is Bobby the ally.
So hey, I'm an ally. So I wonder what that means, though, in the future of her role in the movies. If that has anything to do with anything.
Yeah, so I don't know. But here's the thing. Let me say this.
She's going to get shot in the head with a bow.
I thought this was...
Or an arrow, whichever one.
I don't know what those comics were like. And I don't know what is deemed offensive, or I don't know.
Well, and
I don't
the thing is, you may not even think it's offensive.
I think that he may not.
You may not.
Oh, I may not.
I may not.
It could come from a place of not ignorance, not in a negative way. You just don't know why.
Well, that's what ignorance is. Yes,
but
it's usually used as kind of insulting.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I do think that we have to be careful. This aside. About that sometimes basically there can be good intentions that don't stand the test of time in terms of what's acceptable.
Correct.
I do know that comics have done some, like, if you look at like how they show the Japanese during World War II, you know, there's like the big teeth and the little eyes and you know, like they paint this almost like monstrous, you know, kind of non-human really version. And obviously not okay, doesn't stand up for the test of time, but their intentions at the time was to be a hero to Jewish people that they thought no one was standing up for at the time on a global, you know, because we went to war in the comics far before we went to war in real life.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, so like there's an example, right, of something that has good intentions and thinks that it's doing for its time the moralistically virtuous thing. And then history goes the way it goes, things play out the way they play out, and you look at it like yes, there's an element of that, but there's also this that you kind of missed, you know, the forest from the trees in that regard, right?
Right.
And I think that like there's something to say about that, and just being careful about what we kind of, because like let's say that, and once again, reiterating, never seen these comics, never read them, no fucking idea.
As usual,
it could be the worst fucking thing ever. I have no fucking clue. But
like how Chris has been
without them, you don't get to feel included,
right?
You know, so like there's something about them that that needs to be appreciated as well. You know, if even misguided perhaps at his time, I have a hard time believing, once again without knowing, that they were done with malintent.
Yeah, no, it's not done with ignorance.
It was done with ignorance.
Right.
Which, like, I understand if you don't want to support that shit. Do you know, like, I wouldn't want to either. Like, regardless of the...
Are you supporting it, I guess, is my...
Like, regardless of the intentions of what the piece of media is, it is today, it still is what it is. Signing it is kind of signing off on it. And I can understand where he's coming from. I don't think it's, like, one of those... dumb things that you just like picking a hill to die on kind of thing. I get it. Maybe it's because I might be biased. I don't know. I could be.
Yeah, I don't know.
It seems like a very odd thing to get done anyway. I don't know.
It's the same. It's the same. It's kind of the same thing as not exactly the same, but like the Redskins thing. Hello.
It's the balancer.
Okay, it's like the Redskins thing, right? When Washington football team, whatever the new shit is,
Commodore. Right? Is it? No, it's what is it? The cap.
It's something Commandos.
Commanders.
Yeah, whatever the fuck it is.
Commandos.
That'd be better. They can wear berets. They can wear berets and
no underwear.
Yeah. Oh God! You don't know what them boys are doing.
You don't put, you know, or the Chiefs or whatever. They're not meant to be offensive, right? But people who can't see why it is or could be, they're fucking crazy to me.
Yeah,
but so just imagine like an Asian person on there or any other race as a mascot. So to me, this is the same thing. Like just because it's not meant to be.
So I don't know. I'll be honest, like, and I don't give a shit about any of that. But like,
no, we're just talking about us.
Yeah. So like they did polls on that.
Yeah.
The Native American communities and from the polls that we're all in support largely, never always and never, right?
Right.
So like, here's the thing, right? Like if it was like the, like to an objective conversation, if it was like the African warriors, like that doesn't sound bad to me. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it was called like the Minnesota land losers. That sounds bad.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's Redskins. So imagine.
Yeah. So that one.
If it was just called,
but
blacks.
not Chiefs.
Not Chiefs.
Yeah,
but
the Redskins one, I'm with you. Redskins one, I'm with you. The Chiefs one, not so much.
I guess it depends on the connotation of the
What about the
Chiefs,
Spartans?
which I don't know.
How many teams are around called Spartans?
Because they're gone. I think that's what they. I think
Spartans don't exist anymore. There's no Spartans to be mad, is what you're saying.
There's
right,
no
Joe?
Chiefs to be mad.
There's still a Native American culture.
Is there a Spartan culture?
There's still a Greek culture,
but Spartans aren't Greeks.
How many Greek sports teams
Not the same thing.
are in America?
Also,
Greek
Spartans
names.
were
That's what I'm
terrible
saying.
people anyway. Like, we don't even celebrate the same thing. Like, 300 is what people know Spartans from, but Spartans, like, historically, were awful people.
all the more reason to be upset about using
But
it.
I'm saying it's completely different connotation now because it's so far removed. Maybe in 200 years it'll be different.
But do you think it will be?
I don't know.
Just guessing.
If we're still playing American football in 200 years, everybody's going to have a concussion. Everybody. In
That's
the
true, too.
country.
Yeah. Because like I said, a lot of historic figures live long enough to...
But the
a lot of
Vikings.
Historic...
Somebody said
yeah,
There you
The
go.
Vikings.
I mean, the Vikings,
Yeah.
that's another one that,
Yeah.
I mean, they did some pretty horrible shit, too.
very horrible shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, like,
The Patriots,
eventually-
God damn. Think about that one.
You know, what I just feel like it's like...
I think it's how far removed you are. Like I think I've mentioned it on here before. Like even villains live like historic villains. If you go long enough, they can be shown as heroes in media in some way or other.
What do you think the time is? What do you think, like the lapse, the time lapse? Like, what do you think is fair?
One no longer truly associates with that group, or that group does not exist anymore. For God forbid, if I hope not, Native Americans no longer existed in the future because they went extinct. Right, that race is extinct. At that point, there might be people would stop caring.
But based on what Bobby was saying,
it's not even.
It's white guilt that is
correct,
making people want to make these
That's
changes.
the people that are pushing to change it.
You know, there's some really horrible mascots out there. I mean, do you know what my high school mascot was? A senator. Fucking awful.
So can we all agree that we should get rid of them?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the Wizards are great,
Well, you know, listen.
but I prefer bullets.
I remember when
I like bullets.
I had a Michael Jordan.
Bullets are stronger.
Yeah,
But I understand why you don't want to be the Bullets in DC.
I had
or Baltimore.
Yeah,
it was the Baltimore Bullets. I actually had the Jordan Bullets jersey when he played for the Wizards because they like did the throwbacks or whatever. Do you think Michael Douglas signs Ant-Man comics? Let that one process for a minute. Now that's a pretty deep cut, I think, because didn't he beat his wife in the comics?
Oh yeah,
yeah. He beat her ass.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like I thought it was something that would spark some conversation.
No, obviously,
and it has.
It has.
And I don't care necessarily because I'm speaking out of ignorance because I don't know those books and I have no idea what goes on. For all I could, it could be fucking god awful. But there is one of those things, right, where like sometimes, you know, I don't know if the history of anything is pure.
No, of course not.
You know, so I think
National Treasure showed me that.
So I think that sometimes it's tricky.
Joe bases all his decisions on the moves that Nicolas Cage makes in movies.
Bro, what if?
Do you think if you put a Daredevil comic in front of Ben Affleck, he's going to close his eyes when he signs it?
Should he even be allowed to be played by anybody that's not really blind? You know, it's one of those. It's one of those.
Yeah, exactly. It gets too absurd. Like when you take things to a certain point, in any extreme, in any fucking stance, it becomes absurd.
You know, I'm sure that you could go through a Daredevil book at some point in history and find something that's not okay by today's standards and how we view blind people.
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
100% sure.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but personal is his truth.
Dude.
I mean,
this is my story.
sorry.
I think honestly though,
I'm going to get that for the drop.
We go through life that way, right? Subconsciously, we always make a choice to stand for something or other that's not quite informed, that's not quite quote unquote perfectly right, and we just have to live our lives that way.
Yeah. DC made an announcement about shit they have upcoming. I'm not even gonna talk about it.
Aren't you excited? You love DC.
I mean, I love elements of DC, but
like the metro system.
It's not bad. But like, I just they don't seem to have anything really locked down in stone. So it's like,
have they ever?
So I don't know. But probably Nolan's Batman films.
Oh yeah,
and I think when Zach took it.
Yeah,
he had a shit locked down until they just said, "No, give us that remote control back." I don't like the channel you're watching.
Now there's channel surfing instead, just flicking from one thing to another.
Yeah, I agree with that shit. And then the last thing, and just a weird thing, break time. There is a company has taken the unusual step of offering their employees pods to masturbate in while at work as an employee benefit.
I've been talking about this lately. The PNC, you do much better. Not a bank, but post nut clarity makes life better,
which is
for
usually
everybody around you too.
I agree.
PNC,
Like,
that's great.
dude, like. Everyone around you is happy when you got a PNC.
Which is usually things like a dental plan or free coffee. The Cyprus-based adult website Strip Chat installed 4 pods for its 200 employees and will allow them 30-minute paid breaks during work hours to make use of the pods, a.k.a. to jack it. That's in the article.
Nice.
Not adding that myself. The decision to install the pods was made to help employees cope with the stress of the COVID-19 pandemic. With 200 employees sharing the 4 pods, they may not have assessed the stress and awkwardness involved in queuing at work.
Yeah, that's not enough. Like half an hour break is only 8-hour day. How many half hours?
The pods, which look like futuristic balls, are equipped with 4K screens, Oculus Quest VR headsets, tissues, and a comfortable chair to masturbate in.
Whoa!
It will also be a BYOL, as lube will be provided by the employer. It will not be a BYOL. The company is not the first to offer these. Last year, Erica Lust Films, who employs 36 members of staff, began letting staff have a 30-minute masturbation break, etc. So at least all of them are kind of sex industry stuff. Because I can't understand how. And this sounds nuts, but if you're a man and you're working, this is my story, and you are working in a sexually charged environment.
Yes, I could definitely.
It's going
see
to
that.
become easy to be distracted and not be operating at 100%.
I mean, I think
Especially
it's
if
a
you're not
little
the
bit.
actor, right? You're not the one doing the fucking.
Right.
You're the key grip. You're the key grip on the porn set.
The key grip.
And you don't get to grip shit.
Yeah.
But a mic.
Obviously, that's different than corporate accounts payable. Nini speaking.
Yeah.
Just a moment. God, every time I hear her voice, I got to book some pod time.
I always imagine, I have thought about it, after you get a PNC, after you get post-nut clarity, you think about things clearly.
Book some pod time.
What if you just take the time to play Beat Saber on the
it's like Oculus, bro. I'm just gonna
put
play
the
games.
Oculus on? You play games.
No, but like after I nut and watch, the porn still goes the second before you click. I'm like, man, that's a cameraman there, man. I wonder if the chick ever gives everyone like a sympathy afterwards, or like everyone just like, we're done, we go home now. No one else gets laid. Bro.
No, that's an interesting point of view. That would be interesting to know. Like, hey, I'm the key grip on adult film sets.
Can I get a little
What's
bit?
your life like? What kind of tension do you have built up when you get home?
Real quick amendment to my nerd. I finished Phoenix Rising. The Marilyn Manson.
Oh yeah.
I still
stand by what you said.
Stand by what I said. Cool. Sounds like a nasty relationship to be in. He sounds like a narcissist. He sounds like a bad boyfriend. He sounds like an angry person. He sounds like a person that doesn't value the people that love him, and that all sounds like a shitty relationship to be in, and that's kind of where it starts and stops.
I'm saying this objectively. Did she enjoy that lifestyle outside of the relationship with him, the partying? Did she go into that at all?
So here's the thing. I had a buddy of mine who I will remain nameless just because of how these topics can get sometimes, and I don't want him to catch a stray, as it were. He hit me up this morning and said, "Did you watch that Phoenix Rising doc?" And I said, "Yep." And he said, "I didn't watch the second part. I'm just not feeling the story." And I said, "Me neither." And he said, "Neither was my wife," which was interesting to me. And then I said, I found it to be a little over dramatized. And then he said, and this is a good little nugget here. We both got the vibe that it was a girl who was embarrassed by the choices she made when she was young, and this was the only way she could rationalize or deal with her mistakes. Like there's which I agree with 100%, but there's also like he wasn't nice to her. He wasn't good to her. Like he was probably mentally.
Was he trying to run her off?
No,
just bad people.
Yeah, he's just that guy.
Yeah,
like but this doesn't happen to just her, right? It happens to Twiggy. It happens to Pogo. The two other like kind of like people from the band that have been there since day one.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like Shaggy Two Dope and
no, like
ICP,
Marilyn Manson, Twiggy Ramirez.
I know.
So like it happened to them too, and Twiggy left. And then Twiggy came back, and then Twiggy left again. And Pogo left John 5, who was like his guitarist, who's like kind of like a big deal in the guitar world for his ability to play. Like he had enough at one point and walked away, and all of that's fair, right?
Yeah.
And she left a couple times and came back a couple times and left a couple more times and came back a couple more times. But at no point does she take any personal accountability for her own choices.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example of something that she did that I found like especially like I just wanted to point at the screen and be like, see that. So she decided at one point she wanted to get clean, right? Now they're doing drugs and alcohol.
Of course.
doing
alcohol.
And she decided like, hey, I'm going to get clean. Can you not do drugs around me? Is what she says in the doc. And then she says, and then 2 days later, there's Coke on my nightstand. Which I think is meant to sound like he didn't even respect my life choices.
Nah, because he didn't put the Coke out.
But you know what I hear from that?
Yeah.
Damn, a guy with a drug habit and drug problem who has no intentions of stopping went 2 days
Without,
like that's from my perspective, that's effort.
Knowing addicts, yeah.
Exactly.
It's like why.
Also, why would she not go to rehab into that life?
Because there's no personal accountability. Yeah. And I'm not saying that she didn't have a rough time. I think she did have a rough time, but like some of that she's got to put on her too. And she should have left. No part of it.
She should have left and stayed left.
Yeah,
if it was so bad. And like those,
you're right. She should have left.
Those personality traits that you named off of being bad relationship, just bad, like mean people. Like it's not uncommon in the celebrity world in general.
Yeah. I would imagine.
Do you think like I don't know Kanye or anybody else like who aren't like that at all?
Right. Oh my God.
Right.
But what I'm getting at is we don't know what her life was like the other 22 hours of the day.
Yeah, and like I
she
said,
like having the party and the money,
being able to go wherever she wanted and say she was with him and not
it does seem like a lot of the things she was kind of into at the time, and then looking back on it, she's like, "What the fuck? That was fucked up." And she's probably right about that.
And she's saying, "Well, that was Brian did that to me. I didn't do that."
But there's plenty of times where I've been in places and been like, "Man, that motherfucker wouldn't treat me right," and I just went along with it.
Yeah.
And but like it's not any more his fault than mine for not, or her fault than mine for not getting out of it then.
It's hindsight.
It's hindsight.
Like you are a different person now. Your opinions now is different than your opinions back then when you chose to be there.
Correct.
Dave Mustaine said it best. Hindsight's always 20/20, but looking back, it's still a bit fuzzy.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a write-in today from James, who pops up in my Gmail. I don't know how the names work in Gmail. Like,
why is James crying? He just got dunked on. Froggy Fresh? Nobody? Okay.
Agent Chuckles.
I don't know Agent Chuckles.
I just listened to the Framing episode, and your conversation on Nine Inch Nails brought back some memories. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this mashup of Nine Inch Nails and Taylor Swift. So let's take a moment. That's pretty good. I'll tell you, I have my favorite mashup I've ever heard. I'm not a big mashup guy, but my favorite mashup I've ever heard. There's one I'll play if you guys afterwards want to hear. It's a Rammstein Tattoo mashup. And it's
I haven't heard Tattoo in a long time.
Yeah,
all the things you said. All the things you said.
It's
probably that song.
It's not that song. It's not that song.
Wait, where are those girls today?
That's a good question.
They're in Russia.
That's a good point.
They're Russian. That's what I said.
They're in jail.
They're not in a hurry either, Joe.
No, that's Pussy Riot.
Okay, that's
I know what you're talking about though. But that they, yeah. I mean,
it is what it is.
This is wild.
But their performance at the MTV Awards when they brought out like all those girls wearing like tighty whities and tank tops. It's one of my, I think the most iconic MTV Music Awards performances ever. So yeah, that was funny.
What I was going to say is you mean that 9 Inch Nails, you had a lot of feedback. So we had a bunch of weird kids from high school that wrote in this week.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I was a weird kid in high school.
No, we all were weird kids.
I think everybody liked at least one song from them, but like, I don't know. I mean, like, to those listening, there's a Bobby Boogie Bob episode on it. We go deep into trenches.
It's Bobby
deep in the
Boogie
trenches.
Bop. For those of you that don't speak Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby Boogie Bob.
Like Booga Boba.
Booga Boba on.
Are you going to cover Booga Boba on Baba? I can't even say it. Bobby Boogie Bop Booga Boba episode.
But we go into like the whole history of him and how he got to where he got, and Nothing Records and what Nothing Records kind of changed, and there's a lot of stuff to get into there. Shane G said, "All right, Nerd Ragers, I'm 4 whiskeys in and realized this is the best time to email you guys.
Oh boy,
had a barbecue tonight at the house. Killed a bob. What the?
Can you read this like you've had 4 shots of whiskey? Bro?
Yes. Don't you see? You see it. You see.
Do you see?
If you guys want a real treat,
changing.
If you want a real treat,
this is me reading like a mentally ridiculous. Do you see?
Slow this episode down by like 15% and then listen to Bobby.
Had a barbecue tonight at the house, killed a bottle of bourbon, and feeling froggy. So here we go.
Froggy fresh.
First off, what's everyone's drink of choice to get them feeling just right? For me, it's a bourbon called Willet Reserve. So for me, I'm a red wine guy. My favorite wine to kind of buy if I'm feeling bougie, if I'm not living out of a box, is it's a wine called Prisoner. It's like a $50 bottle, but it's pretty solid.
And the labels are pretty fucking dope.
Yeah.
Mug shots on them.
Yep.
I love Jameson, although I just heard some horrible things about the guy who's named after it. But yeah, it's normally going to be a shot of Jameson or a couple shots of Jameson or Jameson and ginger ale. It's probably my favorite mixed drink. If I'm gonna.
There you go. And you don't drink. What about when you did
chocolate shake?
What about when you did?
Yeah, give me a.
What was your drink of choice when you drank?
Mad Dog 2020.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you were more worried about quantity than quality.
Yeah, you remember I told you the guy almost fucked me up for saying that's what Jesus drank.
I mean, yeah. You said it's getting you in the mood to do shit. Like that was it. Like I drank other shit, but that's what I remembered when we were gonna go fuck shit up.
Next, me and some of my friends had a conversation tonight about comics and how they translate to movies. How the perception we have of certain comic characters will never translate properly to a screen, and how it's more about keeping the essence of the character intact versus having complete translations of the character. I agree with that.
Thanks, bro.
Hope that makes sense. Love to hear you guys' thoughts. I'm drunk. Bye. So I agree. And one of the things that I always go back to with this is that, like, I've always said that, like, I'm not sure about how I feel about a Superman movie because I just don't think that the trunks translate. The underwear, the red underwear.
Oh, you're talking about just visuals instead of the spiritual.
Yeah. And to be fair, like, it's the right choice to not have it on there, you know, for like the Snyderverse or whatever, to like just make it this alien tech suit thing. Like, I think it's about like he said, kind of staying true to the character, whatever the character may be, but finding more plausible modern reasoning for why the decisions are made. As I think.
Well, listen, I loved Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in all aspects, but I think in my mind that's a different character than the comic book.
That's the Ultimates.
It's that Logan in the comics is just such a raw character, and I don't know how you translate that to the movies. The animalistic,
4'11".
Exactly, that's the thing. Yeah,
tall and wide.
Get one of those Hobbit boys to bulk up.
Wolverine needs to look like he just stumbled out of a trailer.
Because he had to go out.
Yeah.
He had to go out arm first because his shoulders are too wide.
Yeah, with a beer and a hamburger.
Yeah.
You know,
so the Peacemaker,
I mean, like for me,
shorter.
It's both in terms on spiritually, like in character, and also visually. It's the same thing I always say about comic books. Like everyone's going to have a different version in their head anyway.
That's true.
Because how many artists have drawn Wolverine or Superman? Variations of costumes, variations of personality. It will never be right to everybody because there's no definitive versions of those characters.
That's right.
That's true. That's an excellent point.
I'm looking at Bobby's shelf of his X-Men here, and I'm Jubilee.
Those are very different X-Men,
right? But like Jubilee, that's how I picture Jubilee in my
not
in
a
my
vampire,
mind. Huh?
Not a vampire. She's a vampire, I think.
Oh, God,
with a kid. She's a vampire with a baby.
Jesus, you're ruining my life, Joe.
I'm ruining your childhood.
I just like her throwing fucking fireworks. I don't know,
useless fireworks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, and I do agree with that too.
She has one spell, and it's distract enemies. Psh, run.
Yeah, I mean, to me,
Hypnotic pattern in D&D. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Like as ironically here, but because my main Marvel Legends display is where he is. Like to me, Wolverine wears a brown suit.
Yeah,
like
the brown and yellow.
And most people don't view him that way.
It's yellow and blue.
Yeah,
but like I remember X-Men #1 was the brown,
the brown and yellow. Yeah.
But before that was yellow and blue, and then went back to yellow.
Yes.
Yeah, so the brown and yellow for the poo and the pee.
Brown and yellow.
He can
brown
make
and yellow.
whatever accidents he wants, and nobody will ever know.
Yeah,
it makes more sense for covert operations or doing whatever than
yellow.
I mean, they said that in the X-Men movie. Is that what do you expect us to wear? Yellow spandex?
Yeah.
Let's see. So the next one is mainly for you, Joe. It says, Yo-Yo Power Ragers. This question is mainly for Joe.
Who is this?
This is from David from sunny Glasgow, Scotland. Give me freedom. What does he say? Not give me freedom or give me death. That's one of our guys.
Yeah, that's our guy. He just screamed freedom. That's it.
But they'll never take
our freedom. That's what it is. They could take our lives. Yo-Yo Power Rangers. Was great to hear you recommend anime from different genres on last week's episode. I was wondering, what are your thoughts on Neon Genesis Evangelion?
You just talked about that, didn't you?
Evangelion, but yeah.
What did I say?
Evangelion, like evangelical.
What did you say?
Evangelion.
Evangelion.
It's the same shit. That's no right way.
I got you.
That's no right way.
But then he said, "Can't wait to hear Bobby try to pronounce that." Little did he know that's the fucking tip of the iceberg. This fucking episode. But go ahead.
No, it's great. I have not finished the rebuild. I have not finished rebuild. I haven't watched the last movie yet, though I've been loving it. I think it's great. I think you have to watch one of the ones you have to watch the movies with. You have to watch both Death and Rebirth and End of Evangelion. I think you need to replace the last 2 episodes. I believe it's 24 or 26 episodes, but the movies replace the last 2 episodes, and I think it's for a much better story.
So they Zack Snyder'd this.
Basically, in my understanding, and I'm not quite clear on it now, they made. It's a very serious show, though it has lighthearted moments like anime do and crazy levity, but like it's a very deep lore. Like
Fast and Furious.
Like something else that's not Fast and Furious.
It's got deep mythos that you can really dig into. It has theology and all kinds of shit. And I think it was like the studio's choice to be like, yeah, you got to wrap this up in a good way. And the show literally ended up with a bunch of people clapping around the main character.
The purple thing.
The person who quote unquote drives the purple thing. Like, literally everyone clapping, saying good job. That's how it ended. The movies does not end that way whatsoever.
So they retcon like how many episodes?
2, I believe it's the last 2.
Okay.
Some people say you just watch the whole series and then watch the movies. I think you can skip the last 2 episodes and go straight to the movies. But I think it's one of the best piece of anime that it's appreciated, I think it's misunderstood and misappreciated because it's so cool. It looks cool. The concepts are cool. But like, I don't think people actually understand. A lot of people, quote unquote, fans don't understand it on that level. I imagine you would feel the same way about people who like to watch Star Wars but don't know the mythos of Star Wars.
Like
right?
sometimes,
like Book of Boba.
But we're all fans. We're all fans of things in different depths. Just because you don't get the deep lore of Evangelion doesn't mean you're not a fan. I'm not saying that.
No, for sure.
But I'm just saying there's a lot more to it than surface level.
Well, personally, he says, I think it's one of the most culturally significant pieces of media produced in the 20th century, second only to Star Wars. There hasn't been a single anime that hasn't been influenced by it, either directly or indirectly, since its release.
By that studio, at least Gainax? Yeah, man.
If Bobby and Pinkerton haven't watched it, which we have not.
I have not.
I don't suggest you guys watch it.
Okay, that was the question. Would you recommend it to him?
No, they can't.
If not, why not?
Bobby's not into anime. He won't. I think you would appreciate aspects of it. I don't think want to waste your time with 12 hours of something that I don't think you can really sink your teeth into like that. And Pinkerton, you might enjoy it, but you're not that deep into anime, and also you got better shit to do with your time.
Well,
it's not something you can watch on the background.
I'll tell you this. I've made a deal with the devil, so to speak,
and the price was cheap. It's cold on his level, Chris.
It may be
because it's twice as deep.
Well, if I was anime, you figure out where it goes from there. At some point in time, I'm going to have my shoulders fixed and my knees fixed because they're all fucked up. And at that point, I won't really be able to do any of the stuff that I want to do. So I have told my family I will watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Why would they put you through that? I mean, I love it, obviously, but like, it's different things for different people.
They
man.
they want.
You have to be deep into anime to like JoJo.
And I will add that to the list of things that if these scenarios ever present themselves, I will.
Because Evangelion is so tied into so many other things. Like when you watch the movie in the theater back in the day in Japan, you get a little booklet, and in that booklet is information you don't get anywhere else until now. But like, there's so much deep lore that like just watching it isn't even enough to get the whole thing.
By the way,
I'm passionate about this.
Fast 9's on HBO now, Bobby. If you want to.
Well, speaking of things that are on other things, the original series is currently streaming on Netflix, and
I talked about this before.
And the rebuilds are currently on Prime, at least here in the UK.
Oh, okay, cool. I want to watch the last episode of Rebuild. I actually need to watch the whole thing over again in one sitting because, like I said, it was one of the things you really need to try and wrap your head around. But the thing with the series on Netflix is, I talked about this before, they redubbed it, and I don't really appreciate that. I would watch. I mean, I have it on DVD.
I'm gonna have to get a DVD.
I have that on DVD, bro. I don't have anything on DVD. I have that on DVD.
Love to hear it.
But I would suggest find the original just so you get original voices.
And he loves the show. He says to keep it up. And sorry for the long email. And I got news for you.
Sorry for the long answer.
I got news for you, David. That is not a long email. You should see some of the ones that we get. It requires thumb movements. Yours required 0 thumb movements.
We better be number 1 in Scotland pretty soon.
Yeah, bro.
David.
Spread the word.
So next one is from Jeremy B. What's up, Nerd Ragers? Bobby, fantastic conversations on Sunday's Zoom meeting. Any listeners not subscribed to the Patreon are really missing out. So that is a fact. The conversation we had on there yesterday, like talking a lot about, I'm not going to get too into it because I am going to build a sit down Saturday when I actually have some evidence, but about, retailers in China having major impacts on domestic retailers.
Yep.
And like we got into the woods, but it was a great conversation.
Sounds like a big good sentence.
Yeah, it was fucking good.
It sounds like you have homework to do though.
And there was a lot of because like on there, I mean, there's people from Germany, there's people, like so like the UK, and people are like putting in their different perspectives from like, and it was a great,
wow.
Yeah, like it was very, very good. Chris, I had a chance to catch up with Helen, my wife's 90-year-old grandma, and introduce her to deathmatch wrestling.
Okay, I didn't know this grandma was still alive, Jeremy. Jesus, this changes everything.
You're not getting for a nickel for your grandma. Introduce her to deathmatch wrestling using your sage-like advice.
Oh boy,
it went a lot better.
Hang on a sec. I have to pause. Jeremy, I didn't know the woman was still alive. This was all hypothetical, so I'm nervous as fuck to see how this paragraph ends.
It went a lot better than expected.
Oh, I wish you had videotaped this, ladies.
She lived in South Carolina for years and was a big fan of Jim Crockett territory.
Yes.
Deathmatch wasn't her cup of tea, but she wasn't shook by it either. It led to an interesting conversation regarding kayfabe. Say it, baby.
God damn it. It's kayfabe, motherfucker.
He said, say it. He said, say it, Bobby.
God. Jeremy, we're going to have words.
And taking liberties. How would you explain taking liberties to a normie, and can you share any personal experiences, direct or otherwise?
So taking liberties would be, so pro wrestling, it's
tangled web. A tangled web, really.
It's a dance, right? So you and your dance partner during the match are going to, you're going to take care of each other.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, that's right. Get a rear waist lock real tight.
Yeah.
Pick them up just a little bit to let them assert dominance.
Relief.
This is not what I'm talking about. And taking liberties would be
more beta smurfs.
Me being a foot and 100 pounds bigger than Joe, and just beating the shit out of him, or even just an eye poke where I'm going to really poke you in the eye instead of giving you the gimme. Just stuff like that would be taking liberties. And what was the reference to his grandma though? Did your grandma take liberties with you, Jeremy?
He had a conversation with her that led to taking liberties. How would you explain taking liberties to a normie, and can you share any personal experiences?
So personal experience. So nobody ever.
Is it like when Bobby kicked the girl in the head? Is that taking liberties?
I think Bobby took liberties with that young lady.
Look,
I'll finish her. I've got a taking liberties story. It's not me, but it's my brother-in-law he and I started wrestling together. And there was this guy that wrestled where we wrestled. His name was Mr. Violence Rick Hayes. And I'll be honest with you, he was an intimidating dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like looking back,
name like Mr. Violence,
right?
so.
Looking back on it, so I don't remember the exact scenario, but basically he gave my brother-in-law at least a concussion with a chair, like, and didn't stop. And like he basically quit because of it. Well, he comes back, and years later he becomes, I'll say, a star in the deathmatch scene at a certain point, and he gets to have a redemption return match. It was actually the first razor wire board match in America.
Oh wow!
And that was a nerve-wracking fucking match to watch. And he got his win back on the guy. I was like, wow, it's a cool day. It happens a lot, especially. It maybe not as much as used to, because when I started wrestling, I mean, there were people, they were like my age, 45, 50, that were wrestling, and they did not want anybody in the business that wasn't, their age, because young whippersnapper, the vibe. So it's pretty much the same. So they would sometimes,
not my wrestling.
they take liberties with guys sometimes. So it's like, I'm gonna see how tough this son of a bitch is, or that kind of shit. So
and then I think he had one for you too, Joe. Joe and the rest of the table. The rest of them, I'm the bloody rest of the table at this point.
He's the whole rest of the table.
he is the table. Here's the situation. You're alone in the middle of a grassy field. Storm clouds are rolling in. You have no weapons on you, and suddenly coyotes attack. How many can you fend off before they overwhelm you? What tactics do you employ? Do you create separation or go for the kill?
I'm in the middle of a grass field?
That's what he says.
How are they going to die?
Yeah, you got anything? You got any fight in you, Joe?
I got Chun-Li kicks.
You got anything?
Well, they all usually charge at you and jump. That's the problem. They're clever girls. They hunt.
Yeah, they are.
They hunt in packs. They come on the side.
As soon as one gets behind you, you're pretty much
fucked.
done.
But you can definitely spar to kick the one in the front. Like if a dog's coming after you, man. For anybody, you can just fucking kick him in the face.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying this from experience or anything, but you can definitely just kick a dog straight in the face when they're charging at you.
Well, the problem is that,
and they're done. They're done.
But that second dog doesn't care about that first
You
dog.
just gotta start trying to fucking fist them.
So you think
one way or the other? Yeah, they come and bite you. Just fucking jam your arm into either their mouth or their asshole. One or the other.
Oh, you didn't. You weren't playing. You weren't trying to be like. I wasn't like a play on words.
No, fisting. You gotta fist them, bro.
Like penetrate an orifice.
Yeah, like you can punch a dog and all that shit. But that's a fight. You're not really gonna win.
So you think you could take one or two?
At least one.
Okay,
probably two.
No, I like the spirit.
What do you say, Bobby?
Me? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I got. Here's the thing about me is I got a lot of heart. So I'm gonna give myself. This is the thing. I'm gonna say one before I become sacrificed, like and it's compromised in some way.
Yes.
But while I'm compromised, I'm gonna get two or three more.
Yeah,
just on the ground,
bite them.
Yeah,
fucking
like that type of shit.
Fist them.
not that one.
That's my big hands, Joe. I don't know.
Just
I'm like dying by coyotes. That's the only way I can win. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Just do your best not to let them get your throat, because that's how they get you. You protect your neck. And you fist them.
Heard that
Protect your neck.
That's a strategy. You should teach self-defense classes just specifically
against packs of coyotes.
Oh fuck! God damn it! I hit two buttons. Yeah, you said protect your neck.
My man's over here trying to.
I wish I had that ready. I wish I had it ready.
It's all right.
Oh well, just put it together in your head, listeners. That's what it would have been if I was on my game. This next one is from Nathan P. Howdy again, NRR, coming at you from the land of dead armadillos and horny cowboys.
Wait, is it Texas or Arkansas?
Hope y'all are doing well. Today I come with questions for thy square table of the over 40K enjoyers. But real quick, I want to say...
That's just me, I think, at this point.
I enjoy...
The over 40K.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty clever.
But real quick, I want to say, Bubba, do you regret turning off the Oscars now? Because I tweeted out, never really watched the Oscars, but damn, do I wish I was there to see Chris Rock get Chris Rock live on television. If y'all talk about this during the show, feel free to skip. Besides that, has there been one or multiple incidents where you see something that you deem unnatural, or at least very odd? Personal example. I've been rewatching a lot of the older Patreon stuff, specifically the Popeye's chicken vid.
Oh gosh.
And seeing Bobby with his mask slightly raised up to eat was strange to me.
That shit was like last year or 2 years ago. I can't even remember now.
Not
2020.
Not because he ate the sandwich in any weird way, but because I've never really seen him with his mask removed in any type of way. Whole time I was watching the vid, I was like, oh yeah, there's a face under that mask. I don't know. Still haven't had the chance to meet Bobby at a con, so I've always been used to the mask. It's like when they gave Prime an actual mouth. It makes sense that he has one, but still pretty odd to see it when you're so used to the faceplate.
Oh, man.
At least it was weird to me. Speaking of food, has there been any other type of dish or food that has lived up to the hype or failed to do so? So I'll tell you one for me that comes to mind. From hearing a ton of hype about it, not getting to it, 2 of them back to back. And like, just like everybody's like, oh, you gotta have it, you gotta have it, you gotta have it. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll fucking have it. We'll see how fucking goddamn good it is. And they're both pretty good. It's Chipotle and Five Guys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Five Guys is good, but it's overrated, I think. But it's good.
Yeah, I don't know if I feel like it's overrated.
I don't think it's as amazing. Like, I think you get good burgers a lot of places.
But
Chipotle is, I don't know.
Yeah.
Chipotle.
Yeah, I love them both. I don't get to eat Five Guys as much because I want to not fuck my heart up any worse than I already do. But I do have Chipotle often, but I just never know how it's going to hit my stomach. So I usually...
it's always a gamble with you.
It's a gamble. I never know. And I don't know why. Like, sometimes it tears me up, and sometimes I'm fine.
I'll tell you, the last thing I took a chance on that I wasn't sure would be good is actually Chipotle has a vegetarian chorizo.
Okay.
I guess it's tofu, and it's fucking great.
There's a lot of hype around kava these days. I'm not.
Krista loves kava. I prefer Chipotle.
Is it? Wait, what is kava?
It's a Mediterranean food place.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was a coffee bar. It sounds like it would be
Java. That's Java.
Oh, Java. Gotcha.
It's pretty good, but I like Chipotle better. It's set up like a Chipotle, but they just have a lot more different options for.
There's a lot of hype around it though. Like it's one of those.
I know there's one right there by
the mall,
by the
other side.
Fantastic mall.
Yeah.
Domino's Black Box. Because like I wasn't the Domino's Black Box.
Domino's Black Box. Yeah.
Pizza.
I thought you said Damos, and I was like, is that Hispanic?
No, that's a 40K reference. Domino's is a pattern of rhinos.
I thought it might have been a Latin wine box that I wasn't familiar with.
Gentlemen, it's Domino's.
Domino's, of course.
Right.
Because I always talk about how like good old Pizza Hut pan pizza is, and I never have a good pan pizza. And then someone's like, "No, you have to specifically get the black box." I'm like, whatever. Okay, I'll try it. But it was fucking great. And the other one is fucking Manaloo's.
Yeah,
dude, that shit is not overhyped. That shit, dude, is
at some point.
That shit is money.
Amazing.
Yeah, we should be sponsored. I tell you, I tagged them. I want them to sponsor us.
Nice.
Speaking of food, has there been any other type of dish or food that has lived up to the hype? That was it. Okay, I had one more question, but it's a bit heavy and long, so to speak. I'm still experiencing that lazy streak, so hopefully I'll be able to write it out at some point. Anyway, that's all I got. Stay safe. Take care. Okay. Paul C. wrote in, with the upcoming Doctor Strange movie focusing on the MCU multiverse, and with the Patrick Stewart appearance already confirmed, the purveying thought is that, dude, I'm going to get a thesaurus for this dude, is that this is the movie that will start the ball rolling to finally bring the X-Men into the MCU. How would you like it to happen? My favorite theory, the coolest one I've heard to date, is that the current MCU as we know is the House of M timeline post. No more mutants.
Great.
Everything has happened has been after Wanda erased them from existence.
I mean, I've always said that has to have to do with that arc. It has to do with Scarlet
Once
Witch.
she is defeated, the world goes back, and we'll have our mutants. Huh? I like that.
I do too. I don't know if they'll do that. I don't know. Because she apparently plays a pretty pivotal role. That's a lot of P's.
Build plays a pivotal. Billy Piper, Big Peppers, not Run Rock Rhymes.
Heavy on the P's today.
I remember the last time that we had this conversation shortly after Endgame, and we were talking about like what's next, and I remember that like one of the things that was brought up at the table, I can't recall who brought it up, was the possibility of the snap having effects, like radiation, but not radiation, that caused a mutation.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that too.
Yes.
That works in that world.
Yeah, but like then you wouldn't get mutants till like 20 years. I mean, you wouldn't.
No, because it could theoretically have effects on people that were alive right now. So even like 13-year-olds.
But I thought you just spontaneously, like they have to be born with.
Correct.
But then it no longer has to do with the X gene.
Yeah, because I thought you had to be born.
Maybe it triggers the X gene. I mean, if they can write the bullshit they wrote in that Spider-Man fucking movie, they can write, all right, the fucking beanstalk can be a caterpillar.
Oh, you need a little magic.
But I don't know. My only concern is that we just get that it's not a new batch of X-Men. Like,
What do you mean?
Like it's the Fox X-Men.
Well, I don't think we can get those.
Most
anymore.
well, yeah,
They're
it
all,
could be
like,
the young
old.
Fox X-Men.
Oh,
Maybe
they're not even that young anymore.
But
It's been a
yeah, I
while.
mean, I think they're gonna have to.
I hope so.
I don't
I
know.
mean, like I wouldn't mind taking Fassbender and the new X, Professor X.
Well, Fassbender might be. Yeah, I don't
He's
know.
older now. He can
He's older
play
now.
it.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't be as upset with that, but I really, honestly, I just want a clean slate.
I want a clean
Yeah.
slate too, because also like a lot of that stuff is like
I don't want the baggage.
that the baggage with the movies and also baggage with history.
Mm-hmm.
One of the problems with comics is that it evolves over time with whatever's happening at the time. So like Magneto living through World War II makes him how old now?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
He would have to be,
Like not that I don't want Magneto in the movie world, but it's got to be something different.
Yeah, it's got to be different. All right, and then we got one from Billings. He said, "Gentlemen." He uses the term bloody loosely. He doesn't say it. I know Bobby, my dad used to. Fucking irritates me when I say it. I know Bobby already thinks I'm a fucking weirdo about my experiences with music, but this has been on my mind for several months. It's if not years when listening to Bobby Boogie Bop, and I do think. But just I haven't had long conversations with him about it. We had a conversation about his. He abstained from rap music largely for his life because of their use of the N-word, and I'm paraphrasing, Matt, forgive me if I'm fucking this up somehow, but like he was, brought up like his parents, obviously like any good people would say like a word you want to avoid and all that, and I think that he had some sort of like it's racist connotations tied to his mental state when enjoying that genre of music and
Okay.
He said, when listening to music, despite knowing the lyrics and words of the songs, I don't absorb those lyrics as information. If the artist is telling a story or sharing an experience through song, I don't hear that or comprehend the aspect of the song. I can listen to a song I've heard 100 times and sing along every single word and not know a damn thing they're talking about if they're actually telling a story. Every month on Bobby Boogie Bop, you talk about and dissect each song about what the artist was going through at the time in their life and who they were talking about in the song and this song and that song, etc. And I've never, not even once, gotten that out of music. I just use music for the beats, and if it has to be clear enough for me to hear the words so that I can sing along. Doesn't matter if it's rock, pop, rap, some country, whatever. If I can't sing along to it, I typically don't listen to it. But again, that doesn't mean that I'm absorbing what they're saying or meaning. I guess my brain just doesn't work that way, which I think is why I'm so fascinated with Bobby Boogie Bop, even if it's an artist or group that I've not listened to much. I suppose to wrap up my question, what's something you really enjoy but don't fully understand the depth of like others do?
No, I don't think you're weird. I get you. I mean, it's just like anyone who tries to interpret art or don't interpret art. You can look at a painting like Mona Lisa and be like, yeah, it's a picture of a lady. Or you can be some fucking art critic who's really into art and dissect every fucking stroke. It's, appreciate it in a different way.
Dissecting Strokes, the name of Joe's sex tape.
I thought it was protect your neck and fist.
Damn it, my mouth.
This is part 2.
I'll say this, that I don't think he's weird either. I think that the majority of people are in it for the bop. They're in it for the vibe. They're in it for the, the moment, the windows down, 70 degrees, singing at the top of your lungs to the top 40 record or whatever that you are familiar with, and you enjoy that moment. I think it's very similar to movies in that way.
Yeah, I mean, like reciting things without knowing the meaning. I think it's normal. Like, how many times have we said that pledge allegiance in your lives, or like a Bible verse or a poem or something you have to just fucking recite and
the
don't
Boy
really
Scout law,
or don't really think about the meaning of. You just know the words.
Yeah, but I think that his is saying it like it's different though, right? Because like while I did the Pledge of Allegiance for however many years, I don't know how long did I go to school for when I was there. I never enjoyed it. Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying the way that you can say something and know something without understanding it.
I will say this: if that show at all makes him feel a way about how he enjoys music, I will say this: in my lifetime, 41 years and counting, God willing, I have only met 2 people in my life that enjoy and are obsessed with music in the same way that I am. And that's this guy Danger, who honestly, funny story, we fell out years ago. We just started talking again recently.
That's great.
And Troy, this guy Troy, who I talk about all the time. We're like, we'll sit there and talk about, and I think I've joked about it on here because it has happened. But like, I talked about with Dante, in Raspberry Beret by Prince, the girl that walked in through the outdoor. Like, I know her. I know what he means by that. Like, and I'll sit on that line and nest on that shit for fucking months, and like when I hear music, it's like, I've asked myself recently, in certain times, last year specifically, in the year before when I started getting into drill music and heavily, and sometimes like I was feeling aggressive at the end of the night, and I don't mean that in a sexual way, but that too. But that maybe that those things are probably tied together for me. That it's having an effect.
I mean, music definitely has an effect on mood,
for sure. But not just mood, but mind state. Like, so like I think that like for me, it's like it's. I mean, it's the first thing I think about when I wake up. It's the last thing I think about, almost. But it's the first thing I usually do is put music on if my wife's out of bed. So I wouldn't. I think that you're not weird. I think that you're very, very okay in that regard. I think there's people that listen to music. I think there's people that feel music, and I don't mean that in any kind of way. In terms of me, like I don't know if I enjoy anything. I think That's it.
yeah.
Well, I think
some of disappointment is the way.
Well, I think that's the problem with me ultimately in this shit is I don't enjoy anything that I can't dive into to the same depth.
Yeah,
that's my problem. Things that I can look at and be visually entertained by or even stimulated by. I think Gundam is a perfect example. But I can't dive into it for whatever reason, and therefore I don't enjoy it. Yeah.
You can say something that's not bad, but you don't like it at the same time.
Correct.
It's fine.
The Batman is another one. Like I never said that movie's bad, never once.
Nope.
But I just can't dive into it the same way for whatever reason.
I mean, like we're talking about listening to music and feeling music, though. Like, I'm not a big music person in the same way you are, but to me, I feel music. That's why I'm into.
So let me quantify that a bit because so to me, like if this is the middle, right?
He's holding.
I'm holding a Sharpie on my fingers, like across my fingers, perpendicular, and
very good.
And
Paul, so you'd be proud.
Yeah, not parallel. So you can be like if this is on the left side of my fingers is the feel, and on the right side is the listen to. You can be anywhere on the spectrum. I'm on the far left, so to speak. Regarding the Sharpie marker. But like I think that you can be. I think that it's like a bell curve, and there are most people that are in the middle. And like to me, like if you've ever gotten chills while hearing a song, that's fucking feeling it,
right? That's I don't need words or lyrics, and I understand people who dissect words and lyrics and why, and I appreciate a good lyric, but like just the music itself moves me in certain ways. Right, like I can tear up listening to for a piece of instrumental. Yeah, so like that, I can feel music, 100%, just not in the same way as or appreciate it in somebody else.
Well, I mean, it all boils down to your interpretation and
what is art, though?
Well, shut up. That's what is.
What is music?
Shut up. That's even worse. Music is noise. That's all it is. It's noise in a pattern.
Organized noise.
So hey, there you go. Shout out to organized noise.
But what about you guys? Do you guys think of anything that you guys enjoy that you don't really feel like you?
I think not a whole genre of things, but in general, there's a lot of times when I've watched something or listened to something where I know there's something deeper, and I don't have the brain space for it. Like, because there are websites like what you do, but there are sites in which lyrics are put up and people try to understand the meaning of it. Or we did this in English in like 10th grade. You read a piece of poetry like it's fucking 4 lines, and then you try to fucking guess what the meaning is when all in all it could have been a guy just writing 4 lines randomly.
Yeah, it's always in literature is the same way. Now, what do you think Chaucer meant? I don't know. He's probably trying to get laid. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
whatever.
It's Chaucer.
I'll tell you the thing that I enjoy that I don't completely understand: sushi.
Oh, there you go.
Well, what don't you want?
Like, I don't know. I'm kidding, really, but like just the way it's magic, Joe. Like roll it up. No.
Dude, what about that shit I sent you? The guy rolling up the.
Yo, that shit was awesome.
I sent Joe this video.
It's in the middle of a family dinner.
It's at a family dinner. It's like a Vietnamese family, I assume.
I think so. They're eating Vietnamese food at least.
And they're obviously like these spring rolled type
like summer rolls
things, and he's cutting the paper that they roll it in and like sprinkles the stuff in the middle and rolls it up like a joint and like licks it and like then dips it in the sauce.
That's great.
And his family's like, all pissed
except for one guy. Everyone looks appalled.
This one old dude, and this one old dude is like
that's his uncle or something.
Yeah, probably. And that's it.
Hey, and if you want to submit questions, which we love your questions, you can send them to
nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com, and it's also in the notes of every thing. So if you can't remember that long-ass email title, you can just click details, and it'll be there.
Make sure if you are listening to the show on whatever platform you are, leave us a 5-star review. It actually does help the show.
A lot.
From what I understand, if you listen on Spotify, I don't know, we're on Spotify, right?
Yes.
Okay, you can leave reviews on Spotify now. Okay. I just recently learned from another podcast.
Oh yeah, beautiful. Yeah, leave
them. So, Apple Music, Spotify, Podbean, Podcast Addict, wherever
Amazon, I think.
Amazon, yeah. If you're listening on YouTube, thanks. You can
click the bell.
Like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications. It really helps.
That's why I listen to YouTube. I saw on YouTube.
Yeah. All right. So shout out to the rest of the cool table. As far as I'm concerned, if you listen to this, you're part of the cool table.
Only if you've gotten this far, though, to this point.
Correct.
If you tuned out, then you won't be here, and you're not part of the cool
then you're
table.
at the kiddie cool table.
That's right.
Shout out to the rest of the Nerve Rage team, Raul on Instagram and Phil on Twitter in our notes, and then Dante on Facebook and Ricky Ticky Timber making the videos, which I don't know if he. Oh, we still got days left. We still got days. I was getting ready to give him a demerit. I'm going to take your pay, Ricky Ticky Timber, and I'm going to divide it by 0.
Cut it in half.
How do you like that? So yeah, shout out to all those guys. We all appreciate everything they do.
Yes, we do.
And with that,
flap your labius.
Tasty taint.
tight dick player.